What is up, everybody? Happy New Year. This is the Anime Squad Podcast, episode 91. I am the host, Omar, and from now on, from today to the future, we will not have camera set up for the podcast, or the YouTube version of this show. And we are this is a long video, so we have timestamps for like the top fives you guys want to hear of this year. That's what the video's about. Top fives of 2021. And yeah, tell us what you think of the setup. You'll be mostly seeing me and Raby on the screen. If you want to see the other guys, let them know. Let your voice be heard. But yeah, tell us what we think of the light setup, green screen, all that fun stuff. And Gojo will tell me as well. But with that being said, this is from the future. We messed up, but now we're fixing it. And hopefully, further on, we will master the craft of recording ourselves. But take it away past me. What is up, everybody? This is Anime Squad Podcast, our annual top 5 special. Woo!
The special, yeah.
Woo! Every year we wrap up the year with our best anime, disappointing, OPs, all that good stuff. But before we even get into it, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell, as
usual.
All that good stuff to help us move up in the YouTube world and all that. And and also follow us on social media. We got Twitter, Instagram, Reddit,
Facebook, all that stuff.
All that good stuff. And today for this video, I'm your host Omar,
and I'm your co-host Raby.
And this is David.
And this is Josh.
And let's just what a year, right? What a year.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, other than what else was happening in the world, the year for anime, I think 2021 was really good.
It was a solid year for sure, and I think what helped was that unlike 2020, which there were a few seasons that didn't have as much anime coming out, for those certain seasons. This year in general was really solid in terms of how much anime we got per season. There were some seasons that were obviously stronger than others. But as far as the amount of shows that we got and the certain quality ones that did come out from all those seasons combined have been really solid.
Yeah, man. When I was making this list for this video, I wrote a lot more than I did last year. So I'm very excited to tell you guys what our top 5s are.
But there's always when there's a lot of anime, there's also disappointing animes.
Yeah, we gotta knock that out.
Perfect segue.
Yeah, there's a lot this year.
So let's just segue our way into our top 5 disappointing animes of 2021.
All right.
And starting with number 5. I will start. Number 5 for me is Platinum End. It's not ended, but just off what we were kind of promised of what it was gonna be, who was behind it, to what we got, and how the characters were kind of interacting with each other. Especially the last episode we reviewed. I was Jesus, what are we doing?
Where have we gone?
Yes.
Great anime.
It's just I'm glad we dropped it, but yeah, man, it was not what I expected, and it had promise. It had a promise of cool battle royale kind of setting, which anime has done so many times.
Oh yeah.
So
a lot of anime.
Yeah, but none of the characters were grabbing and enticing, so that's my number 5. And there's nothing more to say about that.
Yeah.
Raby?
I guess for me, my number 5 is actually Mars Red.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually had to go back to this one because fun fact, because the fact I wasn't here for the for when we were doing the ratings, I completely forgot to actually cover the episode 13, the last one.
Oh my God.
I never saw it. And I completely forgot about it, and I went back to complete that addendum, and I realized, oh shoot, yeah, this was I just remembered why this was as disappointing as it was. Because, the first, the premise and everything and, the style of, the first couple episodes were just so solid. You know, it was such a, interesting experience with, how it was showing, 1920s Tokyo and, vampires and kind of, how they function in society. But man, it dropped the ball hard, especially after the earthquake stuff, and it was just a downward spiral for sure. So yeah, number 5 was definitely Mars Red, and again, after watching that last episode, I can definitely see why that was. So that's my number 5 pick, Mars Red.
Yeah, for me, it was upsetting. Compared to you two, this one impacted me more since I read it.
Oh,
It's High Rise Invasion.
Oh, man, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
that's true.
It was really upsetting to see the fact that, well, I knew how, like, the going towards towards the end of this anime,
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna become like, oh look, there is not horror no more.
Yeah, right.
I already knew that to a fact, but it was super rushed.
Oh.
And then we didn't get enough, like, I wanted more action scenes to feel impactful. Some of these weren't that impactful, at least for me was.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on wrong with this, but of course, Netflix.
Netflix being Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So I was disappointed really for the show. I was expecting more for it. But yeah, that's my 5.
It's good to know.
Josh.
Well, if this was the list of the worst anime of the season, I would have this at number 1. But because it's the most disappointing, number 5 is Joran.
Yeah.
I just was like, I was mad because it was so bad, but I was like I said, disappointed as well, because this show, like, it had something that was unique, and it was like, please be good.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in a cool era. Same thing as what Raby said about Mars Red. It takes place in a cool era. It has a cool setting and stuff like that. But it's just done so poorly that it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, really? So yeah, that's number 5. It would have been number 1 if we were doing the worst anime. That was probably the worst anime I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that story.
But yeah, most disappointing number 5 is Joran. Definitely.
That story was just
after,
like the
Just
episode.
downhill after the second episode.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, now we move on with number 4. For me, it is Faina Bobena, Faina Pirate Princess. Holy crap. That ending was just like, what? Faina's like Joan of Arc or something. I don't know. It's just the whole, like, the beginning was cool, right? It was like, we thought we were gonna get samurais and pirates, but it ended up just being like the journey to get to Eden or whatever, and we didn't even get the journey. And I was like, what the hell? What was the point of this story? And like, when we do get pirates, like, the name of the title, they're like gone before even like the halfway point. I'm just like, I guess it's just about Faina, and I'm fine with that. But like, even with that, sometimes Faina's like a whole different character in each episode. I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, I didn't care about any of these characters either. So, damn anime. So yeah, Faina Bobena, number 4. Disappointing. Could have been better.
Yeah. So, and number 4 for me is Yasuke. Now, I forgot that Yasuke had come out last year, and I think like part of that was also because of how short it was. Like, we were doing the same thing as we did with a lot of Netflix shows where we cover it week by week by week. But Yasuke, I don't know, like, it felt like nothing happened. Like, it was such a nothing kind of anime, even though like the way it was like trying to sell us, it's like, oh, this is the story of like the first, like, black samurai, the one and only black samurai in history. And I don't know, like, they just went a little bit way too overboard with the whole magic and like all this stuff. And I get it, like, like adding supernatural, like, fantasy elements to like spice up like a historical story would, and on paper, would sound more appealing. And their execution was just like horrible. And oddly enough, like, the stuff that didn't have anything to do with the magic and all that stuff was actually pretty interesting, like the flashbacks and stuff. So I wouldn't call this like an outright like horrible anime or anything like that. It has some good elements in it, but man, it was it was disappointing. Like, we obviously talked about it before. We don't recommend it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 4 for sure. Is Yasuke.
Jesus, Yasuke.
Yeah, for my 4 is remake our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If anything, I was the excited one for this show, and it really failed for me, really bad. I try, but no. At the end, the show itself, like, it failed. At least even the time travel aspect of it failed too.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah. So there's not much to talk about. The relationship things were out of whack at times too.
Mm-hmm.
There was so many issues with the show, and I'm upset that the show failed for me, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that show's terrible.
Yeah. And yeah.
Josh?
So my 4th one is girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
I went into this thinking it would be like a juicy hot meme, and that I would be like, you know what, this is epic. I love this. It's funny. It's stupid. And then after a while, it just got really repetitive and boring, and nothing happened. And it was just like the same stupid jokes over and over again. And I slowly went from like hype to just like, man, when's this gonna end? Please. I can't stand the cringe anymore. It's so boring. And yeah, that is like, it was probably the cringiest experience of the year for me. But also one of the most disappointing.
Yeah. Girlfriend. I forgot about the anime.
Oh yeah, moving on to our number 3 now. It's funny you mentioned Yasuke, because I have Yasuke as my number 3.
Oh damn, one above mine.
Yes, and I was really looking forward to it as well. The whole Black Samurai, all that good stuff, and I thought going in it would be like a actual realistic interpretation of it.
That's what I thought too.
But it ended up right off the gate just throwing the magical, whimsical stuff, and Yasuke, the character that we're supposed to be like into the story, is
And Max.
Yeah, and Max as well. Like it's barely like a character. It's like, yeah, we get his backstory, which is the best part of the show. But other than that, like, Yasuke's like in the sidelines. From the show's called Yasuke, and I'm getting more info on the little girl that we're following.
Oh yeah,
The chosen one.
The chosen one.
chosen
And
one.
I'm just like, Jesus. I mean, there was like, I think one cool fight scene, but other than that, I was just like, man, this could have been so much better. And it was by Mappa,
It was.
which is coming off the high horse of Jujutsu Kaisen. So
They burnt themselves out.
that was really disappointing for me.
So that's another Netflix one.
Oh yeah.
Another Netflix. But hey, not all Netflix shows are bad. So
Yeah.
this one was just happens to be one of them.
Oh yeah.
Raby.
Yeah. So number 3, Josh already mentioned it on his number 5. It was Joran. So funny story about Joran is that we probably mentioned this before, but I'll just give the Clip Notes version here. Is on the 3-episode rule. We gave Joran the 3-episode rule, and I actually gave it the benefit of the doubt. At first, I was thinking like, oh man, I'm getting bad vibes off this anime. I really wish I would have stuck with my gut, because I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, oh, maybe things will pick up, but man, like it's basically kind of like the Mars Red situation, exactly how Josh mentioned, where it's like, oh, it's a period piece, and instead of vampires, you have like these blood demons instead. But what makes this one worse than Mars Red, in my opinion, is that unlike Mars Red, where like some of the characters in it are still likable, like the main characters, I feel like they get a pass, like Kurusu and all them.
Yeah,
They get a pass.
I believe that.
But Joran does not have that luxury at all. Like I don't like the main character. I don't like Yuki. I don't like her associates or whatever that she works with, and like they're all like why are you doing these things? There's like a lot of better ways and stuff to handle it. They just kill each other for like no reason.
Yeah,
like, it was just like,
That was dumb.
It makes no sense. There's like no sense of like camaraderie, right? Yeah, so it was just all around a mess. Like again, there's none of the characters in it were likable. the story, while it was kind of interesting, was just kind of like a rehash of stuff we've already seen in other anime before that's been done way better. And yeah, it was all around not fun
Yeah,
towards the
terrible
end. So,
time.
yeah, that was my number 3 is Joran.
Oh, number 3, you didn't bring it up, but for me, Feina.
Oh, Fangolina.
Yes, you guys did not bring this up when I feel like the character that gets the most character development was the bad guy.
Oh, Abel.
Abel, yeah.
Abel was the only one that got characterization in
Yeah.
general. The rest of the people were like barely pieces, but that was it. Some of the squad didn't get nothing.
Abel was essentially the main character.
Yeah, he
Towards
was
the end.
towards the end, right?
He had the redemption arc.
He did.
Yeah, so it was so upsetting to watch this show where I'm like, how can I root for the good people if there's nothing to root for as much,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
So that's why I have this on 3, man, because I was disappointed in the show. It looked beautiful. It looked nice. The art style, the backgrounds, everything looked nice. Music as well, but I guess there was no heart
Yeah.
within the story
Nope.
to connect me to, and that's why it's at 3.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Josh.
So I was going to pick Feina again because Feina is very, disappointing in every way. But since everyone has already said everything, I like that there is to be said
Yeah.
about the story. I'm gonna pick something else that was disappointing to only me, and this might be controversial.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Jahi was disappointing to me this
Ah, okay.
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 because I just didn't feel like enough happened in 20 episodes. Like I felt like I kind of wasted my time watching it because
Right.
like it was funny at times, but at other times it was just boring and stuff. And like we're talking about the most disappointing anime, not necessarily the worst. Not
Yeah.
the worst.
No, no.
You know, I think Raby, when he was saying his review, when we finished it, he said a lot of great things about it and a lot of things that made me rethink, hey, is it really as bad as I thought it was? But for me, it was disappointing.
Right,
and
right.
I felt like it could have been more, especially for a 20 episode anime. Something like Feina needs 20 episodes or more. Like it desperately needs it to fill out its story. But this gets 20 episodes.
Yeah.
So
Big sin.
I don't know, guys. I just thought that I was just kind of like, oh, really? Like
Yeah, I get
20.
you.
This gets a 20 episode anime.
And like I mentioned before, this is like one of those things where like anime back then, that's how it was before. You get like an anime basically not talking about anything for like 26 episodes, which is insane to think about now.
Yeah, weird time. But hey, I'm surprised to hear that for Josh. So that's an interesting pick.
But hey, number 2, I now from this point on, like when we were doing this list, these two were like locked on. Like
You knew.
like I just knew right away. So number 2, Wonder Egg Priority. Great anime. Like from like episode 111, awesome, fantastic, looks beautiful. Episode 12 comes in after a 3-month hiatus of taking a break. Well, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, they're taking the time with the ending. It's gonna be a 1-hour special. Okay, this is how you're gonna wrap it up. Let's go. The first half hour is a recap of the first 11 episodes. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Whatever. Then the other half, it's just a complete disaster. The ending is such, like, it doesn't conclude anything. And I'm not excited if they do a second season. I'm just like, it just ruins everything that happened in the beginning, and it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
It's the Cloverworks curse, Like,
It really is.
They bring in an interesting premise and then they just end it horribly.
Yeah, I'm not excited. Like I said, not excited if they bring a second season. I'm just like, damn, this show was really good. I remember even before like the hiatus.
We were praising it high in heaven. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm kind of afraid to check out that last episode. I haven't even seen it yet because I'm just horrified.
Well, don't. But
Keep your mind pure from the first
Yeah.
11 episodes.
exactly. But yes, Wonder Egg Priority number 2. It hurts to say, but nothing else hurts more than my number 1. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Robbie.
All right. So number 2, both Omar and David already talked about it as their 4 and 3. Is for me, it's Fena. Fena the pirate princess. And okay, so let me explain, I guess, because you guys already talked about how it ended up when Abel and everything like that. So I don't need to repeat that, but I guess to kind of give into my little perspective on the matter is that pirate anime isn't exactly a super common thing, even though One Piece is like one of the if not the biggest like manga and anime giants of all time. There isn't a big variety of it out there because One Piece basically has it all to itself. So when I found out about Fena and it coming out, I was like, oh shoot, this is really cool, and it's being handled by a lot of like great talent and stuff like that worked on like Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and it's gonna be like an Adult Swim and Crunchyroll kind of like tie-in thing. It was gonna be like a huge deal, at least to me, because to me it felt like it was gonna be like a big like anime, like Western appealed anime. And for the first 6 episodes, it was great, and then it just fell apart after the latter 6. And obviously, you guys already went into detail about Fena and like how she was not really that important. So yeah, that was my number 2. It's like that one pirate anime that I can kind of like call, because again, if you get into One Piece, it's really long. But yeah, Fena's not it though. That's all I can say. Fena.
So if you want pirates, One Piece.
Yeah, basically, or Bodacious Space Pirates, but.
Jeez. All right, for me, my number 2 is my next life as a villain is All Routes Lead to.
Oh man, I didn't even put that on my list. I forgot about that.
I didn't even watch it because that was the season I was gone for.
Jeez. We thought we were gonna get a continuation. No, we did not get a continuation. It was just day-to-day based, day-to-day thing with the princess.
It was very
The
filler.
villainess, so it was so filler. Like,
Damn.
all the episodes were filler. Other than, I guess, the stepbrother, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was like 4 episodes, believe it or
Yeah.
not.
Ooh, that sounds too good.
And then they said the film is the continuation.
The actual
season 2.
That hurts.
Yeah. It's so painful to talk about this show because I was actually genuinely excited to watch it.
Yeah, it was one of our first shows that we
It was one of our first shows, and it was the one that David made us like catch up to.
Yeah.
At that time. So
Yeah, so that's my number 2.
Josh?
My number 2 is Sakugan.
Okay.
This show it made me like cry, not a good way, but cry in pain because of how poorly done it was when it had such a good premise. That's a running theme with a lot of our disappointing anime choices. Is, like, it's got a good theme that hooks us, and that's why we watch it. But then it just just sends it to the wayside.
Yeah.
And that's what Sakugan did. It sent all of what it was building up to be to the wayside in favor of random events happening, like almost OVA like extra content. It feels like filler in the middle of a 12 episode anime that doesn't make any sense to me, and it never will with this show. Despite having a good premise, it never explores anything. It never goes into detail about the world, the setting, the characters, their backstories. Really, we get like brief glimpses of it, and then it's like, oh well, we're just gonna forget about that and move on to more wacky hijinks. So yeah, that disappointed me a lot, and I was just, by the end of it, I was just tired. I was just exhausted. I'm like, I don't care about this anymore.
Yeah.
Screw season 2. And yeah, now the big one. Our number 1 anime of 2021 for me is no
contest, right?
contest. It's Promised Neverland second season. Oh my god.
Oh, guess what? It's also my number 1.
It's also yours?
I guess both of you guys talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it together. Why not?
If you guys were here for the last year's top 5, you guys know that I put this in my most anticipated anime. Number 1.
I had it somewhere for mine too, but I was mostly looking forward to Chainsaw Man more. So
yeah.
But yeah, you had Promised Neverland season 2 as your number 1.
My number 1. And going into this, I was so excited. I was like, yes, season 1 was so great. this is gonna be just like season 1.
Yeah. But it was not. I mean, so the first episode, the first 3 episodes were actually pretty solid. Like, you know, the first episode especially, like the kids just got into the forest. Like it was scary, like, but in a different sense. But yeah, no. As soon as they got into the bunker and like, you know, we unknowns to us because we never read the manga. All the changes and stuff that they did with the anime and everything from the manga continuity was like baffling. Like, it was crazy, and it was just like it started off a little bit with like I think a major character that was supposed to be in the bunker didn't even exist, and it just snowballed from there, and it led to like Norman showing up in like 5 episodes.
Yeah, like
but for you guys, it felt like rushed too.
Yeah,
like,
it was super rushed.
Like you didn't even have to read the manga to like know that. Like after like episode 3, like 4 from like the time skip. And, like you know Norman showing.
They didn't
back.
even tell us the time skip.
Like
like all of a sudden Emma and Ray were like just bigger, and I was like, what?
Yeah, all the characters were bigger, and they're like, oh, this one grew hair, and I was like, oh, what happened? How do we get here? Like, there's nothing to explain, and then like, oh, the worst part is literally the ending.
The last 3 minutes.
Yes, the last 3 minutes of this damn show, where it's like, yeah, you think we're making a season 3? And like the studio just gives you a big middle finger and says, no, we're not. We're wrapping it right here.
Yeah. Fun fact: the anime was also done by Cloverworks.
Yeah, that's why it's called the Cloverworks Curse now. Because of that damn anime.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man! I never felt so like how Josh said about Sakugan were like wasted time. This was legit,
and this one was worse because that first season was it was like 8 out of 10 material.
Yeah, it was amazing. It
was really good. It was really refreshing.
Very different from like Shonen Jump would do, right?
Yeah.
So, but them to just not drop the ball, like drop it to the center of the earth, like kind of deal.
Yeah, but we've already talked too long about Promised Neverland season 2. If you guys want, you guys can check out our talking about that.
Review. But yes, that is number 1 for me and Raby.
And both of us.
David,
I'm gonna make this one so quick because me and Omar were excited for this one so much, and I think Raby a little bit too.
Oh, which one?
Farewell, my dear Kramer.
Oh, yeah. I was on there.
We
watched 2 episodes of that.
Yeah, we did not give it we gave up on it no matter what, man. At that point,
it was just so all over the place. It was so bad.
I didn't get most of it throughout the first 2 episodes. I was like, what is happening? Who's the main character here?
A big character dump, and
there's like 3 main characters here. I get it. They're trying to give us like certain characters, like, oh, we gotta learn from them, specifically them. But don't go throwing me every single person. I need at least to learn one person before I start with the next and next after that.
That's okay. They gave you transparent fences so you can see their faces more clearly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the animation was bad as well, man. I was disappointed. I guess I was thinking of Your Lie in April way too much.
Yeah. The same creator, so I don't blame you.
So yeah, that's my number 1. Disappointing anime.
My number 1 is Villainous. I'm not even gonna be around the bush. I hated this anime. Every second I was watching this, I hated my life. I literally despise this anime. I didn't like the first season, but I thought, you know what? It has a decent, well, not really, but it has an okay present like story. It concludes, kind of, and like the characters aren't egregiously awful in the first one. Like they're like bad, but they're not like horrific. So yeah, this anime was just a chore. It was the worst, in my opinion, the worst show that we finished to completion, and that's worse than Joran. This show is so bad.
Damn. Hey man.
Disappointing anime.
I'm just glad I never started this season. Cause
I hate you.
I don't got lucky.
Yeah, I don't
lucky
got
you.
I don't got that 5 hours of info in my head.
All right, that wraps up the disappointing animes of 2021. We move on with a new segment in this one.
Oh yeah,
unexpected animes of 2021.
Stuff that just kind of came out of the blue that we thought were just gonna be like, turns out it was better than we thought.
Exactly. top 5, right?
Top
Yep.
5.
All right. Let's go. With number 5 for me, Skate 8, The Infinite.
Skate the Infinity. Ooh.
Believe it or not, I did not. I didn't think I was gonna like this at all, because the guy who made Free, he's like gay boys and all that stuff. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not my cup of tea. And like this show didn't have that until like later at the end. But like the whole skating, like the race, like when they're racing down the hill, was so cool. I mean, you had like a legit like wacky villain character, which just makes everything's so over the top until like the final climax of it. It's like, oh, this is awesome. And it just has so much. It has so much color, so much charm. Remember Shadow? That guy was awesome. But yeah, Skate Infinite, just a good time. I mean, at first I thought it was gonna be a realistic depiction of skateboarding, but that flew out the window.
Oh yeah.
But it was cool for like the little moments they had, like when trick skating, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Little boy, that was cool. So, and all the characters I really enjoyed, like Joe, that Dio character,
Adam, yeah.
Yeah, so good time. That one. I did not think I was gonna like that show.
All right. Number 5 for me is kind of a weird one. I think because I never mentioned this before. Actually, Horimiya. The reason why is because when we first saw the trailer and like the poster for it, I thought it was just gonna be like a run of the mill kind of like romance kind of like story. And it turns out I was like pleasantly surprised. And I think what kind of helped was like I think David, you looked it up later. That was like number like 4, I think, of like best manga of all time, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was crazy. And like I was like, nah, there's no way it's gonna like live up to that. I mean, in a lot of respects, it did. It actually like again, it blew my expectations out of the water with how it handled like school romance and like interpersonal relationships and like all the different like characters and stuff and how they deal with with going through high school and everything like that, personal drama. All that put together, it was just such a fantastic package of an anime, and it wrapped up really good too. Again, like anime like this does not come out very often at all, especially when it comes to like school like romance anime in general. So all around just fantastic, and like I said, it blew. I thought it was just gonna be like a meh kind of show, but it stuck around with me. So that's my number 5, Horimiya.
Nice.
For me, my 5. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had fun with the show, and this blew my expectations, I guess, because I thought it was gonna be real boring. I thought it was just gonna be like some super basic show. But no, this is I had fun with this isekai. We all have fun with this
it was a fun
together.
watch.
It was a fun watch to have as a group. And yeah, can't wait for more if they have more. Another season, right?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, that was fun.
Interesting pick.
My 5th one is actually 86, the first season, because we didn't even watch that.
No, we didn't.
It
We
wasn't
just
even
skipped
on
over
It was
it.
on David's radar, but not like
The rest of us.
all of our radars. So when I watched it, by myself being interested, and I was like, this is actually surprisingly well thought out, surprisingly nice character-driven story about war crimes and racism, and I thought that it did a really good job of showing that like displacement of people who don't look like the people in the city. And whatever your thoughts are of the second season, or whatever my thoughts are, the first season still kicks butt. It's genuinely a good watch, and I would recommend it to anyone because it's a good character-driven story, and you feel for the characters. You feel for our major, who are going through this and feeling for these, her squadron that are. She can't even see them because they're, so she like draws little pictures and stuff. It's cute, and it's just it's a feel good but feel bad story too, because what's gonna happen to them and how they suffer, but it's also a feel good story too because you see the little moments where they're like playing in the water, or they're like walking around their little camp or something like that, and it's like it has that dichotomy of feelings where it's like, oh, these characters are really cool, but what's gonna happen to them later on, and that it's like they're probably gonna die and that they're put to work like slaves by this regime. So that was surprising to me. I did not think it would be that good. A1 Pictures doesn't have a great track record in my opinion, and I thought this was going to be like a really shallow kind of portrayal of it, like just like a war story. But I was pleasantly surprised that it was much more than that.
Nice. All right, and now number 4, mine will be Invincible with Omni-Man.
Oh, Invincible.
Invincible. Yeah. That I did not think it would be good. I thought it was gonna be like Justice League stuff like that, but it ended up pretty well like thought out story like Mark and like Omni-Man obviously just leaving a strong impression. It even shocked the world with like the meme and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course.
So like just watching the first episode, it grabs your attention real quick, and like I thought after that like it would kind of go downhill. No, it kind of keeps it like steady. It keeps it like still entertains you for like even for like how long the show is. Like I think like
8 episodes.
Yeah, 8 episodes and like 45 minutes long. Yeah, it's well deserved, man. I can't wait for the season 2 and 3 that it got.
Yeah, I'm so hyped.
Yeah, so that was like a big shock for me. I was just like, yeah, cool superhero show. So I can't wait for more. I probably won't see Omni-Man, but we'll see. I don't know what happens the rest of the show. So that was a pleasant surprise for me, and just that first episode still shocks me to this day.
So my number 4 is you brought this up actually. I was surprised. It was Escape the Infinity.
We'll tie each other because I'm also at number 4.
You're number 4 too. All right, yeah, we'll tie to each other. Yeah, so I kind of forgot about the whole like free thing. I mean, I wasn't really bothered by it too much.
I wasn't bothered either.
Yeah, so but I think what it was is because like how interesting skateboarding can you make it?
Yeah, that was the thing too. I was like, how can they make skating really like extreme more than how it is in general?
But oh my god, like when you see the races and stuff, especially with like Shadow and especially Adam. Adam stole the show by far. He was so entertaining to watch in this series. And he was just really cool. Like everything in the show is just so great. Like when it comes to the skating and the animation and everything, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed. Even though Reki was not the main.
He was not
main,
yeah.
But I guess he was tossed in the side more. But I like Longa more.
Longa, well, yeah.
I enjoyed Longa's journey to like not knowing how to skate versus now he knows how to ride. He could do tricks and everything.
Oh yeah, he was a snowboarder with he was a skateboarder with a snowboarding background, so that was like really fun to see, kind of transitioning over.
Yeah, like I think each character in that story like had their own personality.
It did,
yes, it did.
Yeah, Joe and all of them. Yeah, they were just so like fantastic, especially Shadow. Man, I was rooting for him, but that hurt me though towards the end.
Oh, I know. What happens to Shadow? Why?
Yeah, no. But hey, other than that, like it was still a fantastic watch, and I would recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, and even the transitions were awesome. The opening was fun. The ending was fun.
Yeah.
Fun show.
Mm-hmm.
Would recommend it.
Absolutely.
Josh?
All right, so my number 4 is Edaton Deities. Because I think I was like the only one who liked this show, but I
liked it too.
I thought it was quirky. I thought it was creative. I hated the ending, but for me the show was like I made sense of it in my head. Like I don't know why Mappa would pick this up other than if it's like they wanted to show their capabilities with animation and stuff like that, and I think they did that. I think it's a great showcase of quality animation, and I think it had a really engaging story. And it's unfortunate that it didn't end, but I think that for what it was, it kept me hooked. I was really interested in this battle. I liked how gory it was and how the comedy was like centered around that a little bit. It had this really black humor type of comedy that was like really, you wouldn't be like, you could be really easily offended by.
It was very adult.
It's very adult.
Yeah.
The characters were kind of sucky at points, but then you kind of understood them as well. Like they had no regard for human life or anything. Overall, it's just really creative in my opinion, and I really enjoyed it for what it was.
Nice. Now we move on to our number 3s, which for me is Vivi Fluoride Ice Song.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why I have it here for unexpected, because from last year of the Warlord Sugar the Raw.
I forgot about that one. I forgot the title.
Yeah, no, it scarred me. And knowing that the people that made that were coming to make Vivi, I was like kind of scared to go in. I was like, this is gonna be bad, just like that show. But
because Sigururi had the same writer as ReZero.
Yeah, and I was scared, man. I was just scared. I was like, no, this is gonna be another crap show. Like, I don't want to watch this. But lo and behold, the first episode really hooked me. I was like, wow, and like just like how beautiful it is, how Vivi as a character is like amazing. Honestly, like with Vivi and the little robot, Masamoto, like just great chemistry between those two, and just like I enjoyed my whole ride with that show. Just, so amazing. And I'm glad like this show like it put my more belief into the people that make it now. I'm just like, so I can't wait for the next project. So yeah, man, it shocked me, and just the action, the entertainment, drama, all that stuff. I highly recommend it. Great show. Yeah, man, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, so for my number 3, so this one's actually on here for an interesting reason why. It's actually because the depiction of this anime from the teaser was really different on purpose, of course, than what was actually shown. It was Vampire Dies in No Time.
Oh.
Because I remember the teaser of the show was like kind of making it look kind of like a serious kind of like anime where like the vampire was like the main bad guy, Dralic.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, like that was not the case. And what it was, even though it wasn't what wasn't what I was expecting, I still got a huge kick out of it because like the anime was super, super funny. It was just super entertaining, and I just loved like all the characters and like all the interactions and stuff they have, especially John, of course.
God love John.
John was just a show stealer for all of us. And yeah, I just had a great time. Like it was just such a fun anime, and like again, it wasn't what I was expecting. Because again, I think Madhouse, I think of like, it's just fun shoot like animation and stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, it wasn't that. But I wasn't complaining at all. So yep, no. So my number 3, Vampire Dies in No Time.
Nice.
My number 3 is the Duke. The Duke of Death and his maid.
Yeah.
Because I was not 100% on it. It was like I was contemplating whether it might, be a shitty CGI show. But this show proved me wrong with the characters and the background art. At times there was some CGI problems, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the show for what it was, and I love the characters themselves.
Yeah.
So that really, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it from the show, and now I'm glad we watched this show.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
So that's my 3. Josh?
My number 3 is Miruku-chan. That one was really unexpected. I thought that one was gonna be like awful, campy, dumb horror that didn't really just like, I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't, the studio pulled a fast one on us. I thought it was gonna be crazy ecchi. It really wasn't at all. And it actually was very creative and tied up into a nice little bow, and I was just really impressed. I was like, wow, they, finally something that was unexpected, because usually I can see if a show is going to be bad or good pretty early on, but that one I was kind of on the fence in the beginning, and it grew on me. So yeah, that one was just very unexpected for me, and it goes to show that there's 2 more that are more unexpected than that. So.
That's crazy.
This year was pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm surprised that was your number 3. I'm shocked because my number 2 is Miruku-chan as well. Because I think that's the whole reason I think this is even invented, because it is the anime where like no one expected it to be good. Like everyone thought, the studio with Passione that made a Ishikawa Reviewers.
Ishizoku Reviewers, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
For some people. And just like where the first 2 episodes were like, I was like, oh, okay, we're going that route.
Yeah.
But like, I was really like interested in the ghost designs. They were like really like they stood out and they were horrifying.
They stole the show.
Yeah, and just like Miku, Hana, and the cast is very likable, and just like you love to see them grow throughout the show, and just like the stories that they tell, like it's not just like ghost of the week, it's like we have like all this good stuff. So yeah, number 2 for me, Maruko-chan is just a real good time.
Yeah. So number 2 on my list is an anime I think only I saw. I think is Higehiro. That was the one I think. No, I think we saw the first episode of, right?
I think
of
so.
that one.
Yeah.
I watched it all too.
Oh, you watched it all? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Higehiro was is my number 2 because it was from the offset. I was just expecting like, it's gonna be a cute girl, like she's gonna be like the main centerpiece of just kind of this wacky concept of like a girl that gets lost and like is being sheltered by a salaryman. But no, it actually dug deeper in. Like it was very mature for what kind of story it was telling. There were a lot of like mistakes, the characters were making and everything like that. But it addresses that. It shows that like everybody's human, everybody makes mistakes and stuff. And it told the story in a very mature sense. It didn't take itself like, it didn't take the subject matter into just plain comedy like it could have. Mm-hmm. It actually had a lot of like leverage. It had a lot of weight. There was a lot of like drama and everything like that going on between our main characters, and yeah, it was just all around. It was just a solid watch, and was not expecting it to be as good as it was. So yeah, that's my number 2 is Higehiro.
All right. David?
Oh, my what number are we?
2.
Ooh, this Sunny Boy.
Sunny Boy.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really unexpected, man. Like this show, like other than I think the thing that clicked to me like right away when we saw the trailer is the opening itself.
Oh yeah.
The ending, the ED for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And once we started watching the show, I was still on the middle. Like I don't know like whether it's gonna be good or not, like story wise. But this show changed my mind. There's so much to think about within this show that I'm amazed how much they put into it within 12 episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why I put it at number 2.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the anime that saved summer for all of us.
Yeah.
We saved that season for sure. That season was very lackluster, and then Sunny Boy came around.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is Irina, Vampire Cosmonaut.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed the show, and I know the ending kind of meh.
Yeah.
We had some complaints about it, but for what it did, coming from a new studio that barely put out anything beforehand, this weird idea that really shouldn't work because it's so odd and unique, and I don't think any anime has done something as weird as that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it did a great job. It nailed it pretty much for the first 11 episodes. Absolutely crushed all expectations I was coming in with.
Mm-hmm.
And I originally thought it was going to be like a meme show. Like it was just going to be like some really dumb, stupid idea. But, it was actually really heartwarming. All the little moments, all the little romance moments, all the creativity with, the attention to detail with the training and the flight and the timestamps at the top showing the date.
Yeah.
So I just think it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And I really did not expect that. I thought it was going to be some mid-tier or low-tier show, and it blew my expectations away.
Nice. And now we're on our number one. And my number 1 is, I think, a show I watch by myself. Taxi.
Oh yeah.
Taxi. That is, the people's champ on the internet, but there's a reason why. It's just where the story is told and how our characters are like kind of all linked together. It's just, I've never seen it before. And like, how like most animes, they like to do, sequel baits and, we got to make it longer. We got, this one just had one objective: tell a good story.
Yes.
And that is so hard to come by sometimes. Like, a lot of people fail at the ending, and like, or just dropped the ball midway. This one did it. This one did a really amazing job. I'm just keeping it short because just for now. But yes, Odd Taxi, unexpected, a well surprise, and I wish we would have talked in the podcast, but I'm talking to you. That's my number one.
That's what our list is for, but
yeah.
So my number one, you guys already talked about it, so I'm just gonna keep it short on my end. Is Miracle-chan. I was the biggest the critic, I guess, in that sense that I was like, this is probably gonna be repetitive. We're gonna see the same old shtick over and over again. But yeah, no, it blew me away. The plot development and everything that was going on was really solid. I like the different elements that they were introducing with the Miko, the shrine spirits, and how each ghost has their own objective. Just fantastic show. And how it subverts your expectations as well, with who the bad guys are and everything like that. It was just done really, really well. Can't wait for season 2. And that's my number one. Definitely is Miracle-chan.
Nice. David.
Omar talked about it a while ago, and I think Raby did too. Vivi Fluoride.
Yes.
Song. Yeah, for me, it was unexpected. I wasn't 100% on it, but now I throughout the whole episodes that were really entertaining on what happens to Vivi or Diva.
Yeah.
So it was really a really kind of I guess future that you'll never expect,
Yeah. Like how the outcome would come.
Yeah. That's what made it more entertaining wise. Seeing the eyes from a robot, you know.
Those beautiful eyes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And the character, the characters in general, she meets through time, I guess. Through years.
Oh yeah.
Decades.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my number one.
Nice.
Awesome.
My number one, David already talked about it, is Duke of Death. I think this is one of my favorite shows of the year, and it blew me away because it's CG. You expect it just to be bad right away. We got stuff like X-Arm that came out this year. It was the worst thing ever exists.
Yeah.
And so, but I was shocked at the cute, carefully done romance between these two. It had good character, development with our main MC. It had good character development with our love interest. The side characters were all great and endearing. A few of them got a little repetitive, but most of them were pretty strong. It's just a really cute show, and it was a really well done show, even without it resolving his curse. I don't think it needed that. I think it just, if you wanted to put it on, you wanted to be just chilling, relaxing, and watching some cute stuff, then it's the perfect show for that. And one of my favorites of the year, because it was just so endearing and made my heart, feel all nice.
Oh yeah, and that's our top 5 unexpected animes of 2021. A lot of shows I didn't expect to hear from all of y'all, honestly. So, leave a comment what you guys think or what your top 5 is, obviously. But now we move on to our best characters of 2021.
Yeah, what we thought were that deserved the spot into what our favorites and who the best characters of those shows are.
Yes.
What are thoughts of a best character?
Yes.
Exactly. And I guess I'm starting off with number 5. I have Victor from Arcane. Okay, this Arcane, obviously we covered in our minis.
Yeah.
But Victor, that's a character I'm oh, he's you could tell where he's going. He's gonna turn evil or stuff like that. But then they don't go that route yet. But you see the downfall, his tragedy, and how it's being told. And I don't know. I really grew attached to him a lot, especially his chemistry between Victor and Jace and the show. It's just wow, it's crazy. There's little subtle moments where he does to it's where he's happy and then where he's super depressed, and I'm just damn, I'm really I'm in, So yeah, Victor's a very interesting character, and I have seen how he looks in the League of Legends game, and I'm just how we get from the show to that. That's gonna be an interesting take when we get to that point. So Yeah, Victor, number 5.
So number 5 for me, I have listed actually here. So it was actually a tie originally between Agent 6 from Companions Will Be Dispatched and Kinji Ninomiya from Dungeon of Black Company, because they're both essentially like the same like archetype character, where they're both like assholes that are basically like in it for their own gain. But it's played for comedy mostly, and like they have a good place. But I actually went with Kinji from Black Company because his gains actually make more sense. Because he gets isekai'd into this random world that's all about business. He starts from the bottom, from his old life where he was at the top. Then he's got to climb back up to the top, and I don't know, it's just really cool. Like I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh man, he's gonna be a fun character to follow through. And sure enough, he was pretty much like the most entertaining part of like the whole show, and just kind of like seeing how he gets from place to place and how he just kind of like uses his mind, because he's not strong. He has no physical capabilities at all. He's basically like Subaru, where he uses his wits, but he can't come back from death. He doesn't have that thing with Subaru, but he's just really fun. I love following him, and if they have a season 2, I'm gonna look forward to kind of see what adventures he has afterwards. So can't wait. Yeah, so Kinji is my number 5.
Nice, interesting pick.
All right, I got 2 for 5.
Damn,
I kind of cheated on that one.
Oh, okay.
Is Goman from SS Dino Xenon.
Oh, okay.
And also Cells That Work Black, red blood cell. The AA
interesting.
21.
So that's like a tie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because to tell you the truth, both of these characters have suffered throughout the whole story within the show itself, and it's always about teamwork, and that's how both of them tend to. Well, at least one of them tried so much to work, but over the years that failure to get to his princess as well, Goman's princess, couldn't get to it. But he suffered so much, and he tries to make his team as much as he can,
All right.
And that's really like I want to root for this dude,
Yeah.
Like there's no main character on Dino Xenon, at least for me wise, but I feel like he is the main guy.
Interesting.
But yeah, and then Red, how much he suffered. The red blood cell.
Every
and
episode
black.
suffered.
Yeah. But
so
he kept pushing a lot too. He tried to tell everyone around him like, hey, you could do this, and some don't make it, to a point where he breaks as well.
Yeah.
And the people around him, just like on Dino Xenon, they pick him up, and they continue on, and that's what I like about these two. So that's why I put him on 5.
Awesome.
Okay. Didn't I expect that as well. Josh?
My 5th is, and I forgot to mention before, you'll be seeing a lot of Duke of Death on here. The Duke himself.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Because I really, I just love this character. His character is just, he was really a calming presence on screen. For me, it was like relaxing to see him just go about his daily life, where he plays the piano or he's like reading a book or something like that. And it just made me, he lives in this huge mansion, and he just is always doing something, but it's always like he's like doing it for a reason. He's like building a snowman because he wants to build it for Alice or something like that. And he just is like a really calming, relaxing character, and I really vibed with him on screen. So he's my number 5.
Nice. I didn't expect that. All right. Now moving on to our number 4. I have Omni-Man. Because, oh my God, talk about a villain, man. Well, it's weird with Omni-Man, right? Like, he's like the bad guy of the show, right? But, like, I was rooting for him like, most of the time. And then, like, every time, like, when he did the action scenes, they were awesome. Like unexpected, like, gore and, like, how crazy Omni-Man really is.
Yeah. And
like how like he like doesn't show it, right? Until like you see, like, especially in like, the last episode, you're like, oh my God. And like, and like, especially the meme. Like, the meme's funny. But like, and then especially like that ending's just awesome, right? Like that moment where like he has with Mark, and like where like it happens, and I feel for Omni-Man. I was like, damn, like I you wouldn't think that what he does in the show, what like psycho he is, like where he's from and all that stuff. But I really gravitate. Like every time he's on the screen, I'm just like, oh, what is he up to? Oh God.
Yeah.
he's just a presence of fear I had like watching him, and it was like I was on the edge of my seat most of the time, especially in the last episode. My God. So Omni-Man, number 4 for me. God, what a terrifying villain.
Yeah. So number 4 for me, this is a heavy bias because I've been a fan of this character for years, but just now that she's getting an anime is of course Komi from Komi-san.
Oh yeah,
Shoko Komi. And of course there's a big reason why, because there's a huge appeal to her character, where she's like, she like from the outside she looks like she's like a flawless individual, really beautiful, like really talented, everything like that. But on the inside, she's shy and like she can't really communicate with anybody. And again, with the bias that I have here, because of the fact that I know kind of like where everything's going to lead to and everything. But even presented within the anime itself is just done so fantastically. Komi and just like her determination to like make 100 friends, and her dynamic relationship with Tadano and everything like that is just handled so well. But yeah, no, for sure. Can't wait to, of course, season 2 is on the horizon, so I can't wait to see all that goodness animated. But yeah, Shoko Komi is my number 4. Oh yeah.
David?
Number 4 for me is Hitedori. I can't say
Endeavor.
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 How much has he changed? Like,
yeah.
to me, this, like, at first, All Might was the character for me. He was the cool one. I really enjoyed him. And Endeavor was always like the lowest guy. Like, I don't care about you. He whines a lot.
Number 2
and stuff.
Number 1.
Yeah. But you see how much he grows. How much this season 5 in general. How much he grew, and how much we learn with him. Like, how much to change a character. How much this character has to change. And I feel like he's learning. He's finally learning to finally change from his old ways, and I respect that, and that's why I put him on 4. I could keep going on.
Yeah. I don't blame you, man.
But yeah, he's 4.
Okay. Josh?
My number 4 is Boji
Oh.
from Kings, because is there really a
no, you don't need to
No,
explain. Boji's amazing.
Yeah. We've been
little soul. He has determination. He has strength. He's the king, right? He's like, in my opinion, he's the king because of his mental strength. And he's just the embodiment of like good in this world of like weird deception and corruption and all this weird underground stuff going on. He is like the beacon of just like, he wants to be strong, he wants to be king, and he is good.
Yeah,
and I love him. He's just a great character.
I think like Boji's like the embodiment of like hope.
Oh yeah.
So I completely agree with you on that. But yeah, number 4, that's crazy. But yeah, we move on to our number 3. I also have Komi, because we are watching it in our mini series of Komi Can't Communicate, and just I see why people love Komi, right? It's just like I finally get to experience it firsthand.
Been a fan for years.
It's crazy.
Can't disappoint.
I love how like her interaction with the whole cast, and like how overboard like they are.
Yeah.
But like just how Komi is not that. Komi's like super shy. She really wants to like communicate, right? Like the name of the show, and she just can't. But like, God damn it, she tries her hardest, and she does it in an adorable way with a little cat. And I love the moments in the episodes where like it's just her trying to like ask an order or something.
Yeah.
And just like the outcome of them, it's just like,
because there are people out there like that, where they're just like too shy to actually like place an order themselves.
No, yeah, I believe that. I really do believe that, especially like in Japan, all you gotta do is just point pictures of items. So, but yeah, like you said, I totally agree. Like of Komi, so
yeah,
I'll keep it short. Komi number 3 is just an adorable character.
All right, and then my number 3 is a little bit of a meme, I guess, but he brightens up like all our days. I feel is John from Vampire Dies in No Time. You can't hate him. Like he's like whenever he's on screen, like he's trying his best and everything like that. He's basically like an armadillo Komi, if you think about it. like how you can't hate Comey. Same thing, you can't really hate John. And I think the reason why John is like above Comey for me, okay, is mainly because of the fact I've known Comey for like years now. Like John is just kind of came out of nowhere and all of a sudden just stole the show, and it's like, okay, all right, I'm all about this life. Let's go. He has a fan club. All right, let's do this.
We're in it, right?
We're in it. Yeah. So yeah, John is my number 3 favorite best character.
Yeah.
Oh damn, sorry.
But yeah, for me, number 3 is Alice Lena, or she has multiple names. Handler, the Major,
Lena, yeah.
86.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blood
She
Queen.
that's what the second season needed, man. I needed more of her interacting with our Reaper. But yes, I really like this girl because she always had a positive thought, even though everyone in her like country didn't care. She cared, and that's what I liked about her. She always cared about every single person, you know. And I like it towards the end that I'm like, oh, not even my people care, so why do I have to care for them? And then it was really powerful in some of these scenes with her. And I really enjoyed that with her. Even though there was not a lot of action on her side, it's really a lot of mental conflicts.
What she overcomes through and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I have her at 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. Josh?
My number 3 is hot take. It's Eris from Bushoku Tensei.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I loved her from when she first appeared. I was like, this girl is either going to be the greatest character or the worst character, because we're either going to see lots of development with her or we're going to see no development. She's going to be a meme. And I'm so glad that was the first one, because I love seeing like these tsundere type of aggressive characters like gain a heart, and like, because you know, a lot of people in the world have like anger management, and a lot of people work through that and they go to classes and stuff like that. And I feel like we kind of got to see that from her specifically, like lose and develop more of a softer side, especially for Rudy. And I know the way she left, people were like mad and stuff like that, but she's got to work on herself, man. Like, she's got to go, and she knows that she's basically seeking help for you know, herself, and I respect that. And I think that even the way when they went to the beast jungle and the girl was fighting her and she didn't fight back hard because, you know, she grew up at that time, and before she would be like beating the crap out of her.
Yeah.
But I love seeing character growth, and I think she had probably one of the biggest character growths of the entire year for any character. From the first core to the second core. So yeah, she's number 3.
Okay.
Most definitely. Now we move on to our number 2. I have Endeavor. I also have Endeavor on my list because
Nice.
at the same points as David, like he was number 2, right? Like, he was just like the hothead. Like, oh, I should be number 1 on the hero rank and
Hey,
stuff.
look, speak of the devil, right? He's number 2 in your list.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Oh,
Brutal.
it is brutal. I'm sorry, but yes, back to Endeavor. It's like it really made My Hero an enjoyable show to watch this season. Like, you know, 5 seasons in, you kind of run out of stuff. You kind of like the hot tempo of the anime can either go down or up. And I'm glad, like, you know, Endeavor was, and seeing his story, like trying to like reunite with his kids, trying to be a better person. And now that he's number 1, and like you see how much he goes through, like his dedication as the number 1 hero, and what, like, I respect that, especially like the lessons that he teaches with Midoriya and all the rest of the heroes. And I was like, damn, I feel that, I believe that. So yeah, man, Endeavor honestly legit stole that 5th season. Hands down. So that's my number 2, unfortunately.
Shit.
He'll always be your number 2.
I wanted him to be my number 1, but there was another character. It's just, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, so my number 2 is Otakawa from Otaxi.
Oh heck yeah.
So like this is kind of different than like the other three characters I picked, because this one is more on the serious, is definitely more on the serious note. I love like, because again, with how you mentioned with how Odd Taxi is as like an anime, you're absolutely 110% right. Like the story is just amazing, and like you need a character to kind of like to kind of fulfill that role in like trying to go behind, trying to fill in the shoes. And I feel like Otokawa is like the perfect vehicle for that. No pun intended. Them being a taxi driver, but no, he's the perfect like vehicle for that kind of story. Because with how like all these characters and like all their motivations and stuff like that, Otokawa is like the exact opposite of like all these other characters that like, oh, I want to be the biggest idol. I want to be the biggest comedian. Oh, I want to be married. Otokawa has like nothing.
Yeah.
Going from that. That's his thing, is that he's got nothing. He's a taxi driver. But seeing that just kind of like play off against each other is like absolutely perfect. And like, it's not like Otokawa is like a bad character. Far from it. He's actually super fleshed out. His backstory is not giving anything away. His backstory is super fleshed out. He's also very mysterious as well, and kind of like want to know more. Like the more you watch, I want to understand him more. So yeah, that's my number 2 pick is our favorite walrus taxi driver, Otokawa.
And I just want to add to that is that you never expect him to be the main character.
Yeah,
of that story.
He looks very much like the opposite of what you would expect the main character to be.
Yeah, and just like his like interactions with all the characters is it's very different.
So deadpan. you'll be like, oh, I won the lottery. Oh, cool.
Nice.
But yeah, Otokawa is my number 2.
Yeah, so my number 2 is Alice, the Duke of
okay.
in his maid.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, she really took the show a lot for me, because she's meant for this guy, man. At this point, yeah. Like she'll do anything for this guy in general. She to a point where like she would like she told him to touch her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn. There's so much to say about her in general. How their relationship was between those two characters in general, but she went to the max, and that's why I have her on my number 2.
Yeah, she ride or die for the Duke.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and her life is in more danger than the Duke, because by default.
Josh?
My number 2 is Nagara, our MC from Sunny Boy. He is like, you don't really like him because for him being like a role model and stuff like that, but you like him because you kind of relate. You relate to like his anxiety. Definitely. You relate to like his hesitancy to do things. Yeah. And as he goes through, he gets beaten down, but he never gives up, and he keeps going, and he keeps fighting even when everyone else has given up trying to get home, and they just kind of relinquish themselves on this island, and they're like, well, this is our life now. They all get on the Ark or whatever to stay safe because that was more important to them than risking their home back. In the end, it's only him and Mizuho who risk going back home. And like, it's a good story. I like how Nozomi helps him throughout all the way up until her death. He helps him become more of a man, become more confident in himself, just to jump in and do things. That whole metaphor with jumping into the water, how he wouldn't do it, but she just did it right away. Because he was scared. It's just really good as someone who, has those thoughts sometimes about like hesitancy and what if and stuff like that. Yeah, I related to him, and I feel like there's not enough characters that are like that in anime. So he's a great character.
No, most definitely. I 100% agree with what you said about him. And but our number one, the best character of 2021, and I think it's no surprise for me. Number 1 is Boji.
Okay.
Boji from Osama Rankin. Here's why. I think Boji is like, it is hope. It is like he's a child, right? And like for you to see what he goes through like every day, and like who has his back, who doesn't, and like what he has to overcome, like everyone that inspires. That's why I really like the opening,
Mhm.
because it shows like, you know, he's by himself, but
But yeah, don't talk about it too much.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that,
we're still covering it.
Yeah.
We still got one more episode left anyway. So
yeah, but it's so like amazing, like just to see him, like just in the first 2 episodes, like I'm already like crying for him and stuff like that. It's just, oh man, Boji's so awesome. He, and like what he becomes, like, you know, in the show is just like, yes, I am in Boji's camp all day, baby. So that is my number 1, Boji. I'm hoping, you know, he has a good happy ending, but we'll see. We are still covering it.
for me, my number 1 pick is Fushi from To Your Eternity. Fushi is by far the best character development in any anime this whole year, because he literally developed from a rock into actually gaining a personality. If that's not character development, I don't know what is. But no, even besides that though, like you kind of get to see like just how an alien being like Fushi interacts with everything. Just like him, just learning how to live in general.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting. It's so like it's so entertaining in its own way, but at the same time, because of just how like dark like To Your Eternity can really get, it's just like you worry for his safety, obviously, but he's immortal. But you also worry about the relationships he's gained along the way, the people that that he wants to protect. But I don't know, subsequently, unfortunately, also failing as well throughout his journey, and you feel for him as well. It's just incredible, just like how minusculely detailed you can be able to put into like a particular character, literally starting from zero, and just kind of like building out of it one by one until like he's become his own person.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about it, because like his main form is based off of a pre-existing character that dies in that first episode. You don't get to see him like pretty much at all, like ever appear again. And like this is basically your main character, and like you kind of want to see how he develops and everything like that. And yeah, it's a trip, man. Like To Your Eternity, like again, Fushi, like that's like the perfect character you can have for an anime like this. So yeah, Fushi's my number 1 best character for this year.
I agree.
But for me, if there was a best girl, best boy, that would have been a different option. So
Okay.
I kicked those out of there.
All right.
Of course, and those would have been Komi and Tarado.
I don't know. Yeah.
But
Who's number 1, bro?
number 1 is
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ayo Top Knot Gorilla Torodo Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh.
Okay.
The homie,
Yeah,
the bro.
Yeah, Tato.
Yes.
Toto.
Yeah,
Toto.
Toto,
Yes. He was amazing. The first time we got to meet him, he's not your standard character. He's always like, he was wondering who to fight, you know.
Yeah,
He's
true.
He's always there to see what's his next challenge, and of course he has his other ways about how's your women type as
Yeah,
well.
your taste in
But
women.
it was so entertaining to watch that character in general. Every time he appears, it's always fun to see him. That's what I liked about this character so much, and he really helped our MC as well too. His struggle on fixing his curse, because he always used this curse all wonky and stuff.
Yeah.
And
true.
he manages to teaching him while fighting at the same time.
Training in the battlefield.
Yeah,
Let's go.
training in the battlefield while everything was happening in the background. They're like, hey, no, I'm not gonna fight right now until you know how to learn that technique. And I was like, I like this guy. Yes, so he is my number 1.
Oh man, you forgot to mention the best part about him, the combos.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Combos.
So good.
Josh?
My number 1 is Miname Yume from Dynazenon. There's no secret.
Makes
I
sense.
wrote
Yeah,
a whole
I-
thing about
Yeah.
her almost exclusively when we did our review of it. which
Yeah.
you check out. It goes way more into depth than I will right now. But basically, she's just like the most fully developed character in a show full of really fleshed out characters. You know, her whole arc with her sister and how she has like stress from it and PTSD and how she's trying to overcome it and how she uses our MC to kind of get through her tough times all the way up until the very end where she like starts smiling again and starts getting over that hump, especially with that episode where they got the kaiju who stuck them into like their own personal worlds again, and she was just content with just living there, and then our MC comes and breaks her out. It was kind of like closure for it because she found out that her sister didn't kill herself and it was an accident. And it's a really good case of like showcasing character trauma and then growth from that.
Right.
And I think that's why she had such an impact on me, because it was like you see this character struggling, you know, she's depressed, she's moody, she's hooks up with dudes basically, like gets them on text and then ghosts them, and just for no reason, just because she wants to. And you know, our MC kind of brings out the best in her and makes her like have some friends and you know, get into healthier relationships than she would before. And I don't know, she's just a really good character when it comes to like growth and development.
All right. I think we all picked a lot of different characters.
We did, yeah.
I think mine was most repeated, but hey, I liked all our choices, honestly.
I did too.
Leave down comments what characters we missed out, maybe. You know what?
And like we said, this is not like the like for sure. Like we have other like top characters too, but you know,
so many characters.
Yeah, so many characters.
So,
It could have been first either way. You know, there's a lot.
Yeah, like I'll definitely say that a best character list, definitely like I have way more characters that I like that are top contenders for best characters than worst characters. I'll just say that much.
yeah, no, same here. That's just how strong this year was. But now that you mention it, we move on to our top 5 worst characters of 2021.
Yep.
And like you said, it was pretty hard to pick characters for worst. But I'm gonna pick number 5 with Sister. Yeah, Sister from, I forget what the anime was called, but I hated that show. I hated that character, and we only saw one episode of it, and I was like, what is like? It was an hour episode of like her being a badass.
Oh, the detective is already dead, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
That damn show. Like for her being a badass, and then to her like just being a normal schoolgirl, to like her dying, but then like later on when I was hearing about the reviews of this anime, like her like dying, but she like a girl manifests her or something like that, like got her character traits. I don't know. It was weird, and I'm just like, not a good time.
Sounds like a train wreck.
It is a train wreck, but you know, it was so bad that I remember it. So that is my number 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Raby.
Yeah, so my number 5, and this is actually part of the reason why this anime ended up becoming a disappointed anime of mine, is Rufus from Mars Red.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys remember him? He was the main bad guy.
Yeah.
He mainly he wasn't the sole reason as to why the anime ended up the way it did for me. But it was up there. He was a very forgettable villain. I had to look him up for the name, because I remember I think I called him like discount Sephiroth. It was just like the most generic thing, and he also caused the death of like potentially interesting bad guys that we could have seen. And I'm like, really? So we're just stuck with you? And your fight was also really just lackluster too, so that was not fun. So yeah, Rufus is my number 5 from Mars Red.
All right, for me, my 5 is Kyle's Slending, the guy from Omnipotent. The same magic powers is Omnipotent. That guy, the king. Oh no, the prince, the one that.
Okay. Yeah.
Kyle,
Yeah. That's the red-haired prince.
He was so annoying until the very like I guess when they gave him story, I really didn't care about him. Like, oh,
too late already.
Yeah, it's too late already, man. And he's just a rich snobby guy. for me. So yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say about that guy.
I like this is like short and simple.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, so he's 5. Josh.
My 5 is Soma from How a Realistic Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
He just I don't even need to go into detail, but he just sucks. Like he's boring. He's boring and he's like a Gary Stew. Everything goes perfectly for him. For a show that's labeled How a Realistic Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, is like the most least realistic thing.
Was it very
of all
realistic?
time. dude literally just like builds colonies just in like a month on the coast, and then gets into a war with 2 nations and just beats them until they're like bowing down to him. It's like so dumb. It's so stupid.
It shows how superior
And
Tokyo
I'm
Dive
so
members
glad we're
are.
not watching the 2nd season because I hate Soma. He sucks. He's boring. He has no drip. He's boring.
Oh yeah, he has no
Yeah,
trip at all.
true.
Moving on to our number 4, I have Sawa from Joran.
Hey, me too.
Oh my god.
I'll join you for that one.
Just for her being like the main lead is like so boring to watch, and like her actions like I don't agree with. And
Yeah.
it's just I thought she was gonna be a badass, but she ended up not being a badass.
Oh yeah, she wasn't at all.
No, and then like all like the things she like she kills herself, but not really. And then like, I don't know what was going on with Sawa, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so disappointing just seeing with her, like her
Yeah.
conversations and everything. Oh jeez. Yeah.
Very boring. Even like the only cool thing was her transformations, but even when she transformed, she wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, no, never.
Like
Yeah.
what? Come on, man. Like that's why you transform.
And she frees when she sees brother.
Oh my god, that whole thing too. Yeah, so Sawa number 4, and for David as well.
Yeah.
So okay, so it would have almost been a 3 for us, because my number 4 worst character is actually Makoto from Joran.
Oh,
So
that character's just terrible too.
yeah, the thing is that like I guess you could argue who's worse between Sawa, because Sawa is obviously the main character and you see her all throughout. Makoto not so much, but I'd argue Makoto was worse, because Makoto, unlike Sawa, because at first you kind of get the understanding, like, oh, you know, there's something going on with this character, especially with the gender reveal and everything like that. That was pretty interesting. You know, I want to know more kind of what's going on. But then you find out the payoff was just absolute garbage. It was just trash.
Yeah.
You find out that it was just like, oh, she was just obsessed with Sawa because
Mhm.
of the blood. It was just like the most generic thing ever. But then why show all this? Why show
Yeah.
like Makoto caring for Sawa, like rescuing him, or like why even bother like, you know, rescuing the kid if you're just trying to just kill the kid off?
Yeah, she'll flip sides like pancakes, bro.
Yeah, and there was like no rhyme or reason behind it either, and then you just find out, I was like, oh, it's because of the blood. And I was like, I want the blood. It was it was boring. It was like, no, not really boring. It was just like, it was unexpected, but like in a worse way. Yeah, Makoto was just bad. That's my number 4, just Makoto.
Terrible. Josh?
My number 4, I'll just keep it short and sweet because Raby already kind of talked about Yasuke.
Yeah.
Disappointing, but also just a bad character. He's just like silent 90% of the time. They don't really focus on him. He's just kind of like defends this little girl. He has some decent backstory, but even then it starts not making sense after a while. He's just boring, and for a character that the show was named off of, he doesn't do anything really. He doesn't have any magic powers or anything. He just kind of is like this guy who just kills things with a sword.
It's true. He was like he was like only underpowered character with no
Yeah.
actual powers.
I know. Except for the end when he got a power up. But even at that, it's just funny that you mentioned Yasuke. Because on my number 3, I have Yasuke as well. And just, like, why? Like, if you're gonna make like magic mechs, make our main character cool. Like, he's so like underpowered. Like, yeah, I get it. He's a struggle. He's a black samurai, the only one in the world, right? But like, if we're going with that route, like, why not make it realistic? Why not do it like to the core, or make him like super wacky, overpowered, like Afro samurai?
Yeah.
I would have loved that. But no, Yasuke's pushed to the side for the first half. This is only like a 6 episode show,
Yeah.
and for him to be like in the sidelines, for like why?
It was just mainly the flashback. That was it.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, man. And then when he does do like, he has one cool fight scene, and it wasn't even like the final boss. Man, Yasuke, damn it. Oh, Raby.
All right, so my number 3. Oh my god. So my number 3 is Kyoya from Remake Our Lives. He's the main character.
Hey, me too.
All right, we can both talk about this one. Man, so
Oh, man.
the circumstances of me watching this anime is very different from you guys because you guys saw it week by week. I had to sit through this guy for a solid 6 hours straight, pretty much, because I was binging this one. And it was not pleasant at all. Yeah, it wasn't worth it at all. But I just wanted to catch up so that way I could give you guys my thoughts. And it legitimately like got a really low score for me. I think I gave it like a 1 or something like that because of how bad it was. But yeah,
just like Josh said like earlier about him being like from that other anime, rebuilt the Kingdom one.
Yeah.
This one had a similar thing where everything was right on his book.
No, and it was worse though because
Yeah.
like Kyoya's like priorities
horrible.
were his priorities were so backwards. Like he like especially towards the end, like that was my boiling point was when he had a nice family with like, you know, arguably I feel like our favorite girl, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. And he just threw it away. Like he basically ended a life.
No, that's the thing too. I was on the other side, and it still upsetted me too.
Yeah.
I'm
No
like,
one-
no one was happy here.
yeah, no one
No.
won.
No one won.
because his stupidity.
Yeah, and then like his relationship also with like, you know, everybody else and
I
like
feel
how
like-
he's trying to
He wanted a relationship with everyone.
yeah.
For real. Especially that ending.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh
That was
man.
awful. I hated it.
And then the time travel within this show too, or time whatever
Oh.
this was. I don't know how it's made or how they do this or how he's supposed to do something. Nothing was explained.
no.
At first, the show started off like, oh look, you know, some art stuff. Like, oh, he's just redoing his life, you know,
Just a random little girl.
yeah. But no, it's turned into the weird relationship within everyone.
Yeah.
Group.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our number 3, Kyoya, and it sucks because he's the main character. So yeah,
Yup.
Kyoya.
Josh.
My number 3 is Tact from Tact of Destiny. Because he's just really boring, and
Oh, okay.
he's really like I don't know. I recently finished this anime
Oh,
because I know you
okay.
guys were watching on the minis. I finished it like in one go, and I just got nothing from like no vibes at all. He's just there, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like with a lot of characters, except Anna for some reason, she's got like more personality than everyone. He's just like a deadpan, edgy character. Like he just comes out and he's like, even when they show his backstory, he's like super edgy. Then he's like, I don't want to play piano. I don't want to do it. And then he doesn't. He gets a little bit of personality. And then when Cosette dies, he gets, you know, he's like sad. And then he just becomes deadpan again. He's like, I'm making a song. He taps on the thing a little bit.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, but everyone loves him. He gets like 2 kisses at the end, and they're like, I want to hear your music. And he's like, yeah, just making a song, man. I'm like, why do you like this guy? Like, where did this development happen? The kiss with Anna, I'm like,
That was
he even
unexpected.
asked himself, why did I do
what?
that? Why did you do that?
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't finish the show myself yet, so I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
No,
It happens in like the last episode.
But yeah.
You're not missing much. It's nothing.
Omar.
all right, now we move on to our number 2s. I have Katarina from My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. Something X. Like this character, like from what it was from season 1 to now, like I feel like she didn't learn anything. She's still like this dummy.
That's the beauty of a filler, right?
Yeah,
A whole season worth of filler.
and especially like the end of the show, where like, you know, with the whole Keith arc, it's just like, are you that dumb? Like you weren't that dumb. I don't think you were that dumb. Did my interpretation of the first season was all wrong? Like I don't know. Like after like the whole stakes like were gone from the first season to like there, it's just like, why is Katarina? I know why Katarina's here because everybody loves her, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
loves Katarina.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I was like, oh, why though? He just wants to eat all the time and be friends with everyone. Why? I don't know, man. It's just, it kind of like stinged me after watching the second part. I was just like, oh, I don't want to watch this movie coming up. So yeah, kind of arena. Number 2, go away.
So my number two pick is Kiyomori from Heike Story, and it's not because I hate him or anything like that. Actually, quite the opposite. I think he's a cool character for what he is. But the reason why he ended up in my list is because a lot of it's partially to do with me kind of not liking him, but yeah, it's because he essentially just kickstarted the downfall of his whole family.
Oh, okay.
And I was not cool with that because like his family has some great people in it, and he essentially just killed it off, all of it.
Yeah,
he wasn't alive for a good part of it, so that also kind of sucked. I kind of wish he was. I kind of wish he was alive. I legit wish he was alive to kind of see what all the screw ups he did. Because yeah, he royally screwed up everybody and everything. Again, despite like because the ending of it is also kind of like bittersweet in a sense too, because because one character out of the whole 20 members make it out.
Yeah, and it's sad.
It is very sad, and so that's why Kiyomori by default ends up here, not because I don't like him. Not because I hate him more than all the other ones or whatever. Not the case at all. It's just because of his impact on the story. Most definitely earns him a spot as one of the worst characters of 2021.
Interesting take you took on that one. David?
Oh, number 2 lands for what is the MC's name on Girlfriend?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Naoyo, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Jeez, he was so, oh my. I really hated this character through the whole entirety of this series.
I mean, one of the 3
season,
bro.
Yeah. Jeez. His thirst was different, though. Like, in every ecchi show, they're like, oh, I want the girl right now. And some of them, And this one, he's like, oh, I gotta make sure this specific girl is not upset at that specific girl.
Yes, consent.
Yeah. Bringing some realistic shit into this.
There's not enough enthusiasm in that consent.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, that wasn't very enthusiastic.
It was not.
Are we all on board for this threesome?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I really hated his guts throughout the whole entire 12 episodes, man. I couldn't take this, man. Either way, if he would do something towards one girl, it would turn out bad for the other girl.
Yeah, by default.
So either way, if you try to do the consent or not, he's still pretty much messed up.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, trying to be the nice guy, it didn't work out for him as much.
Yeah.
And that's why he's my number 2, man.
Josh?
My number 2 is Metropoliman from Platinum End. He
sucks.
He just sucks.
Yeah.
He's bad. I know the guys are surprised because I said before that he was gonna be my number 1, but I actually found another character, I guess that's worse. So Metropoliman sucks. His motives suck. His character sucks. He's just an edgelord. He has cryogenically froze his little sister. He's like the ultimate villain. He just kills little girls. Like he's just the worst person ever, and he has no likability at all. They never make you want to even care about him, but he always wins stuff. Like he's always just like there, and he's always like taunting our MCs, and it's like he's just annoying. It's a villain done wrong.
Most definitely.
For a villain, you have to like kind of make me like them. Yeah. Especially if they do really heinous stuff. But for him, they just make him do heinous stuff and make you hate him. And it's like, well, I sure hope that our MC wins, right? Instead of actually like feeling any sense of like, oh, I kind of get why he's doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
They try, but it's like failed. It's like a really terrible attempt at doing it.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with that. And Now we move on to our number
one.
And unfortunately, you guys already said this character. I'm shocked y'all put it, but it's also Kyoya Hishiba from Remake Our Life. I hated this character. Like his whole reason of going back in time to fix it, it makes sense. But then what he does with the people in his house and how he impacted their lives is he's not like, he shouldn't be the MC. He's like the villain of the show.
Yeah.
Like he's ruining their lives and like he's trying to redo it. They're like, no, bro, you can't just no. And then he already had a good life. And like why go back? Just because not everyone's happy? I think because one person effed up in the past, that's not your fault.
Yeah.
You can't change that. Why?
But he's right.
No, F that character, man.
I 110% agree
Yeah.
with you, man.
He was the worst character to watch throughout the whole year, other than Promise Neverland. But that doesn't even matter right now. Hopefully this will get a second season.
Hopefully not.
Go, Raby.
All right, so my number one is Uryu Kanade, aka Metropolitan from Platinum End. Yeah, so there's no contest with me here. Even though like last episode, if you guys saw, like I'm like, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying myself with Platinum End again. But that does not change the fact that Metropolitan sucks. He's a horrible, horrible villain to have around here because he doesn't even have like that kind of pizzazz. Like again, I sound like a broken record making these Death Note comparisons, but again, this is gonna be my last one with you guys. And I'm talking about this anyway, so I might as well say it. But he doesn't have any of the pizzazz that like characters like Light or L have or anything like that. Like he's so just boring as like a main villain. All he does is just kill people. He doesn't have any kind of like extra personality to kind of like back anything that he does up with anything, and he just drags the whole vibe around of like just anything in general. Like even like his subordinates or whatever are like more interesting at least, even though like they're just one note characters.
Yeah.
At least they have something going for them. Like Metropolitan has nothing other than the fact that he's trying to just basically don a persona or whatever through Metropolitan, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's not even original either. He's just copying a character that already exists in a TV show. So yeah, that's my number one is Metropolitan. So
Mine could have been him, but no, I had to put this other character instead because I really did not care about this villain. And yes, I'm bringing back a show that you guys talked about.
okay.
It is Yasuke, and it's the Dark Lord Masaku Hojo.
Oh.
Okay.
The main villain of the show.
Oh.
That is some like literally you don't remember.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I don't
Oh my
remember
god.
Yes, it was the lady that was like strapped to the thing. I don't know.
Oh, she was like sucking the juice off
Yeah,
of the
like a
spider.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how that's how much you don't care about this character. You don't really care about her towards the end either. That whole battle at the end, I really didn't matter at that point.
Looked awful too.
Yeah. So yeah, boring character, boring finale for that scene, and yeah,
Interesting pick on that one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
What more can I say
can't
about
believe you
that worst
remembered him.
character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the gender.
Right. I had to.
They, them.
Hey, I had to research that to
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I had to do the same for like 3 of these entries too. So
Yeah.
Okay, so my number one pick.
I'm excited.
Call me cheating, but I have to do this. Every single main character in Villainous.
Oh.
oh.
Damn.
Every single main character.
I'll just tie.
I can't sugarcoat it. I don't know if this is allowed. David might slap me later. This show, like the characters are god awful, all of them. Like there's not a single redeeming character. It's either your Katarina, who has no personality and just is like, do people like me? Oh, he kissed me on the lips, so I just like me. Oh, it's either your Katarina, dummy, or you're everyone else who's madly in love with Katarina and therefore is stupid because they have options to be with other people and they're like, no, I have to chase my one true love, even though like 5 other people are after her. All the girls like her in that way. All the guys like her in that way. They bicker about it. They fight about it. She's literally going to be married to one guy, and they're still fighting him. They even talk about killing them at some point, in like jokingly in the show. It's stupid. It's really stupid, and I can't stand any of them. And I never want to see. I want to see the show fail.
Nice.
So every MC in Villainous is the worst character.
Nice.
Of 2021.
2021. That wraps up that list. Like always, if you guys had different characters, write down in the comments. We'd love to know. Or if we're wrong, I don't know. I would love to see it.
Thankfully, that's our last negative Nancy
Yes.
category. So we don't.
I think after this, where it's all positive.
Yeah.
We're starting off with our top 5 opening songs of 2021, and this was probably the hardest for me.
Oh yeah, it was for me too.
I had like
I couldn't even find 5. I didn't listen to 5 OPs and DVDs. I skipped most.
Do you see the
4.
yeah.
you see two sides of the same coin? You got like one camp with me and Omar. We're like, well, we got so many.
Yeah.
And Josh could barely even find 4.
Hey, but that that's just people's preference on music.
Yeah, very much so.
I know a lot of people they're like, oh, I don't understand what they're saying, so I can't like it.
Yeah, just, you see that little Netflix skip opening.
Skip
there you go.
intro?
Yeah, skip
Bam.
intro.
And for this one, we'll go like just one single person naming all 5 of them.
Okay.
Make it easier
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Josh
yeah.
since Josh doesn't have all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So like just right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off. My number 5 is Vivi Flora Ice Song opening "Sing My Pleasure" by Kari Yagi. And that's just a beautiful song. Honestly, I just listen to it on repeat most of the time. It's just like it's impactful. Like especially when you see in the opening when she's singing. I hate idols, but like this is the one show I'm just like, yes, Diva, be on the stage, bro. Get in there, sing your heart out, And I feel it. I feel it in the song. And I like it when they put it in the show too. I think at one point. And I was just like, yeah, it's impactful, I love it. And but that's just here to say. Number 4 is Tokyo Rangers "Crybaby" by Officially Hig Dansme. Have you seen the music video to this?
No, I haven't seen the music video.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like the guy, he's on the piano in a junkyard, and he's just like singing his heart out, right? And it's like it's beautiful. I feel it. Like Cry Michi. It makes sense with the song's title, Cry Baby, Cry Michi. And then the opening itself, like you see our main characters, the events that happened in the first season.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome, man. Like Drog and Mikey looking badass. It's just there's like parts of the song just like
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All right, my number 3, To Your Eternity opening, Pink Blood by Utada
Hikaru.
Yes, if you don't know that name, it's basically the singer that sings the Kingdom Hearts songs.
Yes,
very famous. A pleasure to hear her all the time. The only reason Kingdom Hearts is good. Don't fight me. But yeah, she brings it in this song, like instantly, automatically, like Pink Blood, like you feel it, you feel it. And then the opening is it's kind of a miss if you're just watching it.
that's true.
I would recommend skipping it, but like once you finish the song and you watch the opening, it is like emotional. It's like, man, I remember those events at this event. These characters, it's like,
Well, a lot, yeah.
I'm like, man, it's a big payoff once you watch the show. So I think that's the only my gripe about the opening, but like the song itself is awesome. It's just like, especially when like she's singing fast, it's like you feel it, you really feel it. My number 2, Osama Ranking Boy by King Guyu. Oh man, I just discovered this band this year, and they have a great category of songs. They also did the one for Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this band is really good. I highly recommend hearing their songs. But oh boy, it captures the whole bottom of the show, what Boji and Kage go through. Yeah. And it's just like, like I said earlier, like when they're walking, I feel like walking with them, bro. It's just like it's impactful, it's strong, like I just love like the subtle moments, like where, you know, it's triumphant, like we're walking together to the sinisters. You don't know what's going to happen in the song. The song itself, it's like amazing. So it was kind of a shock to me how, you know, at first I didn't like it, honestly, but like after hearing it like many times, I have it. One day I just had it on loop, man. It was just had a good time, man. And then my number one, it has to be A Taxi opening. Title A Taxi by Skirt and Pew Pew or Pin Pew.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two together, amazing. Their songs that they've done before, also amazing. The music video for this for the opening,
You showed me yesterday. That was amazing.
it's amazing. It ties into the anime. Like, you know, some of them like they don't tie into the anime they represent, but like this one did. It had so much character, so much pizzazz, and like it's really cool. And like, you know, they have fun with the song, and like especially the opening itself is awesome. It is like, you know, like right off the bat, like it is very different from all the openings I've heard of this year. It's so subtle.
It's impossible to vibe with it.
It's super big vibe.
To not vibe with it.
It's a big vibe. Like it's jazzy, especially at the end with the saxophone. Ooh, boy, it is amazing. This, I can hear that. I can hear that song all day.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just me gushing about openings on my part end. There was a lot of songs that I had to cut. It breaks my heart. Like, you know. I'll give it on mention the Beastar opening. That was also really good, even though I haven't seen it. Just the opening itself is like, wow. Or, you know, Amer's Demon Slayer opening, amazing opening. Like, you know, just like the little time we had with it. But yeah, that is my top 5 openings. Hope you guys like it. And, you know, on to you, Raby.
Yeah. All right. So. Number 5, I actually have the Stone Ocean opening. That one for JoJo Part 6. That one is just it's so good, especially with like the visuals. Actually, mostly for the visuals because they went back to doing the 3D style that the JoJo Part 1, 2, and 3 opening originally had, and it's just so many like every single JoJo opening has like, you know, references and stuff, but this one, like, of course, you know, references back to like, you know, stuff like Part 3 and stuff, especially with like Jotaro, and like this one has like the most homage to Part 3, you know, to Jotaro specifically, which I am just a huge fan of. The song and also in particular is also really fantastic too. It's just overall, it just carries the spirit of what Part 6 is about, you know, especially with their choice of going with a female lead singer as well. It was just a, you know, brilliant move on their part as well. So that's my number 5. My number 4 is the Demon Slayer OP2 Zankyo Sanka. Yeah.
Oh, you actually picked it.
By
Nice.
Aimer. Yeah, I actually picked it. Yeah. It was one of those openings where it's like, you know, it's like, oh, of course, you know, it's not, nothing's ever gonna beat the original opening for Demon Slayer. You know, Tsuyoku.
Yeah, Lisa.
So, but this one was just like, oh man, I'm hearing it all the time. It's just like, it gives me like a big, it's a good vibe. It honestly, it conveys like the entertainment district and how that whole thing works really well. Like I get a good like festival vibe, but at the same time, it's like it has energy, you know, just as Aimer songs usually do. So yeah, it was just a fantastic. Number 3, I had to put this one on as Attack on Titan Season 4, My War by Shinsei Kamatsan. And oh my god, what can I say about My War? It's just an amazing opening. Like it takes a while for it to kind of like. I'll be honest. The first time hearing it was like, all right, this is pretty good. But like each time that opening plays, oh man.
I think that's for a lot of people. Like they were like, what is this? You know, it's not usual people that sing.
And then like I think the visuals also are also very very different compared to other Attack on Titan openings, because this one was just like, it was just mostly gray, but it conveys what the season's gonna be about though.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part, and it's just like the way it amps up. You know, shit's gonna go down in this season. So love My War. My second one is, you mentioned it before, was To Your Eternity, Pink Blood by Utada Hikaru. Not much to be said here to add. It's just like Omar said, the music is just fantastic. It is like the centerpiece of the whole thing. The visuals, again, lackluster in that sense, because it's just, all it is just mostly clips that you're going to see later on in the series, and it's going to be spoiling you. And yeah, that's my number 2. And then of course number 1's Odd Taxi. I'm sorry.
All right.
I know there's not a lot of like variation here, but like
It's a
man,
good vibe, bro.
it is such a good vibe, and like the variation between like the between the middle part of the episodes as well. It's also really good too. You get like slight variations of the same song, but it's still fantastic. I still listen to the song like to this day too. Like it's so good.
Yeah, man. It's an amazing song.
Absolutely.
David?
All right, for me, my 5th place, and this is where this is my favorite part from the show in general, is Yasuke Black Gold.
Oh,
by Flying Lotus, yo! I really enjoyed that opening.
Yeah,
It was a really good opening.
Even without the opening, the music, the song itself is really chill. You know, you're chill, relaxing with this song. You know.
Yeah.
So I really like the song.
Mhm.
I think that's the one best thing about Yasuke.
Yeah.
Black Lotus did its job right.
Yeah. The soundtrack was he knocked it out of the park.
And then since it was the opening with Thundercat, whoo, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So that's why it's number 5 for me. Number 4, Skate 8, The Infinite.
Oh,
Yes.
The
Oh, it's
opening was
true.
awesome. It
Yeah,
felt like
Paradise.
a skateboarding. What do you call it? It felt like a skateboarding video in the beginning where he's riding on the street, kind of thing.
That's true.
That was awesome. And my number 3 is Stone Ocean as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
for me, yeah, I really like it. I like the tone of the song, and then I like how it's a female singer too.
Yeah.
What Raby said pretty much.
Yeah.
And I like the whole the rotation and everything. We're going through a cycle in a way,
Yeah.
through the whole entire story in a way.
Yeah.
'Cause it feels like a part of the story. What we watched the show is kind of what we watched in the opening. So you see
Yeah.
like little bits and pieces from the show itself,
Mhm.
and of course the homage to the past, of course.
Jotaro, man.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm glad you guys picked that. I was this close picking it as well, but I'm glad you guys picked it.
So my 2 is My War from Attack on Titan as
Oh
well.
my god.
Well, it's awesome because at first you didn't get into it because you're so
Yeah.
used to the original singers.
Yeah.
But this one literally felt like what the song's name is, War.
Yeah.
And it really, even visually seeing it, that was like, it felt like a military kind of opening, you know?
Mhm.
So that's what I really enjoyed about the opening in general. Just the carnage and everything that's happening, all people against each other and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I really like that. And my number 1 that I heard through the whole entire year is Kuya Extended.
Oh, Vivid Vice.
Yeah, Vivid Vice, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The second opening.
I knew you
That
were
was so good.
That's so good, man. Visually, it's so appealing. I love it. You get a witness what you're gonna get into, the battles, everything. It floats so well with the song,
Yeah.
and I really love that about it.
The animation was so. Oh,
Yes.
it's just peak. It was peak.
It was
And Gojo giving you flowers.
yes. Hand me the flowers now.
the little strum like.
Yes, but yes, that I really throughout the whole entire year, like I said, I listened to the song.
Mhm.
So yes, that's my number 1.
All right.
Nice.
Josh.
Josh.
So yeah, I only have 4. Maybe it's because I didn't watch in the first season with the guys, so I missed out on some Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
ADs, OPs. But my 4th one is Pink Blood.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
OP.
Nice.
Just what else is there to be said?
Yeah.
It's really catchy. It's really well sung. It's the actual OP spoils the show, which is stupid. But
Yeah.
when you actually go back and watch it, it's actually a really like nice OP,
Mhm.
like visually. It just sucks that it spoils the show.
Yeah.
But my number 3 is the Mushoku Tensei ED Kaze2 Ikumichi.
Oh, okay.
I watched this ED because Mushoku Tensei doesn't have an OP, really.
It does not.
Like the OP is different every time. So, but this ED was just really cute song. You know, it shows their journey and it shows them like playing around and goofing off and stuff. And I think it works really well with the actual visuals on screen.
Mm.
So I really enjoyed it. It's just one of those things that it's like, well, the show doesn't have an OP, so you watch the ED, and the ED kind of feels like an OP, but also feels like an ending, like a solid, just like there's the end of the episode.
It can work both ways, yeah.
My second one is Duke of Death and His Maid, OP.
Oh,
I listened to this.
yeah.
Okay.
It's Manjitsu to Silhouette no Yoru. I love this song. I listened to it away from the episode. I love how it's a duet between the two main leads. That is like amazing. It's super cute, super like well done. The visuals are amazing in the OP. Like it just works really well for the show. And like I said, I love that it's a duet between the two main leads. Like that's just like the coolest thing ever. The ED is also a honorable mention as well because the ED is sung by Alice's VA, and that ED is also really good. So I guess you could put both there for that one. And then number one is Meruku-chan OP.
Hey!
The catchiest song ever. Like,
I'm glad you picked it.
I was at work at 4 a.m. and it was replaying in my head, and it was just like the funniest thing. And I was just like jamming out to it in my head. It's great. I love the OP as well when she's running, and it's like she's running on the beat of the song, and you know, just it's super catchy, and it's a great song, and it helped enhance the anime experience for me too, because I could not watch the OP for that show.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you picked that. That was also one of my I had a lot on my list, but that was the one I was like, oh, I want to pick it. But these other ones.
It was my favorite OP of the year, definitely. It was just super funny, and it had like a charm to it, and it was just so catchy.
No, yeah, most definitely. And but yeah, that is our top 5 openings of 2021. And we move on to our top 5 endings of 2021. So, unfortunately, Josh, I don't think he's gonna jump. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
it's okay. I only did the.
Yeah,
I did it in both.
Yeah, you did it both. So, unfortunately, he'll be out for this one. But our top 5, I guess we're gonna do the same format. And I'm going to start off with number 5 with Hike Story ending.
Oh, yeah.
Ununified Perspective by Ograph featuring Ani. That is just a weird ending, but I like it. It's just like it's like a rap, and then it transforms into a different song, and it just mixes so well. I'm just like, oh, that's unexpected, but like it fits. I was like, and especially the visuals like of dark and black and white like visuals and like what they become, and it's just like it's really cool, especially like
it's a unified perspective.
Hey. But yeah, that's my number 5. My number 4 is 86, the first ending, Avid by Sawano Haruki Mizuki. And I don't know, every time the ending to, because it's always different the visual wise, so that's always like awesome to see. But just like how like it's kind of like depressing and like but like a little bit of hope, and like as much like how down the gutters it feels, like there's a little bit of hope in that, and like these characters will come out of, and like you watch the whole ending because you know sometimes there's little snippets for that show, so it's a nice enjoyable treat to hear as well. My number 3, JoJo Bizarre Adventure Star Ocean Part 6 Distant Dreamer by Duffy. This one's kind of cheating because this song is old.
It is an old one, but it technically counts as a 2021 song.
Hey, man, I brought up Great Pretender last time, I think.
That is true.
That's true.
Frank Mercury.
And Freddie Mercury passed away 30 years ago. Rest his soul.
Yes, but Duffy, that amazing voice. I mean, I knew this artist before, but like not this song. So it was a surprising treat to hear. And just like, hey, man, I'm a dreamer too. All right?
Yeah.
Visual wise, I wish it was more, but you know, it's kind of like, you know, the ocean we're seeing.
Yeah.
Stone Ocean. So that's cool. My number 2, Sonny Boy ending Boy Meets Girl by Gignax Boys. Man, there's 2 versions of the song. I love both of them. There's obviously the original ending, and there's the the last episode with the acoustic version.
Oh yeah.
Which makes me cry every time because the singer itself is also crying, and you just like hearing the ending to like how much Sony Boy packs into an episode, and just like, and then you read the translations to it. It's powerful. It's pretty sad, and like it fits so well with the show and how it ends, and especially that acoustic version. Just gets me every time. It's beautiful, and but yeah, that was my number 2. It was gonna be my number 1, but
it's number 1, man.
What's your number 1?
I don't think none of y'all expect this.
Okay, go ahead.
Megalobox second season ending, El Canto de Corby by Mabuna. Sorry if I butchered that name, but this is a Spanish song.
Oh.
In an anime.
Oh.
And it's so like, and it's like an acoustic guitar, and it's like beautiful how he sings in Spanish. There's 2 versions of the song actually as well. There's the one he sings it, and there's the one with the voice actor of Chief in the show. He sings his version like in the show in the first episode.
Oh.
And that one's like also beautiful too, and just like what that ending means, and it fits with the whole show, the whole tone of Megalobox second season.
Right.
And I just love how it's in Spanish, and it's just like it ties in so well. You don't get Spanish songs
No.
I think at all in anime, so
No.
this was like, I think for me personally, the best thing ever. And like I don't know, I feel like crying a lot because this one did make me cry as well. Just like hearing it and how soft the voices the singer does. It's just powerful. So yeah, that is my number 1, man. Just beautiful ending, and I listen to it to this day.
Yeah.
Raby?
Okay, so this is gonna be kind of interesting because like my number 5 pick is actually Edaton Deities, the Gods Only Know Peace ending theme. It's called Raika, and the artist is Akari Nanawa. And the reason why I picked this one is because it's mostly not really much for the song, but actually for the visuals itself. I think it's a really neat take. I love when like songs or just any kind of like media has like an alternate kind of like, what would happen if these characters were just like normal people. I really like that. Like it, especially like if you just watch the ending and you have no idea what the show's about, it just kind of like looks like it came out of nowhere. With like fight the, and like it's just
that's true.
It just feels like it's like a regular normal thing, and it's like it kind of also shows you into perspective kind of like what these characters are like. I think like the Colonel, she wants to be married and stuff like that. Like you kind of get like pieces of kind of like what their personality's like, and I just love like stuff like that. So that was my number 5.
Okay.
My number 4 is actually the Nagatoro ED Colorful Canvas. This one, the reason why I picked it was because it kind of fits the whole like mellow kind of like tone to like how the like the anime is, I guess normally. It's a huge contrast between like the opening and how like bombastic like the and then this is like and it kind of shows you kind of like a more like softer side of like Nagatoro, who's like meant to be depicted as like this bully that's like mainly teases her senpai and stuff. This one you kind of like see kind of like what she's like in the inside, and I dig shows like that kind of go deeper in like that. My number 3 is Skate the Infinities ED, Infinity by Yuri. Yeah,
damn,
that one. I just picked that one mainly because of the vibes. I just love the like with the little trees and stuff, and
tree swinging.
All especially like. Oh, what's really adorable is like the fact like all the characters and stuff like they screw up their moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Longa and like even Adam like they
don't show it.
They don't show Adam and him screwing up. Like that's really cool because like skateboarding. You're
gonna eat it.
You're gonna eat it. It doesn't matter how cool you are. It doesn't matter if you're Adam. You're gonna eat it. So that's great, and it's all like kind of cheerful. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is the same thing that you said. Heike story ending, unified perspective.
Oh, okay.
Love the rap that starts off with everything, and you see you see like main girl just kind of looking into the distance and everything, and yeah, it's just so funky, and it's just so like
just grabs you,
distorted, but it grabs you, and it's even though they're like the rap and the instrumentals are so different. they work together. It just kind of works. I never skip out on that ED when that plays, even though like there's no like actual, preview or any extra stuff. No, I'll still watch it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's that good.
Yeah, and then of course my number one is also Stone Ocean.
Oh,
The Stone Ocean ED, Distant Dreamer by Duffy. So I know you've been introduced to Duffy. I've never actually heard of any of Duffy's music. So this is a nice treat to kind of be introduced to a new artist, because everybody always makes predictions like, what Western song artists are they going to be picking for this ED now? And I heard this one and I'm like, wow, this is
different.
This is very different. Yeah. It does really remind me of Last Train Home. From JoJo, because that was like the last time they actually had like a slow, like kind of like ED.
I wonder.
Oh, right. But yeah, no. So that was my number one overall. Like I said, like you said, there's a lot of different songs and stuff to like pick through, and this one was no exception. So a really solid year for EDs as well. But still, nothing compares to Jujutsu Kaisen.
From last year.
Gotta put it out there, unfortunately. Hey, these were amazing too.
Yeah. David?
So for my picks, they're pretty kind of sad in a way.
Oh,
like they're pretty upsetting songs, but I really enjoy these songs in general. So number 5, Tokyo Revengers ED1.
Oh,
that one. Yes, I really enjoyed that one. That song in general.
I remember that one.
I had fun. Well, I did not have fun with that during the show, but I love the song that goes with it. It really complements the show itself too when those situations happen.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's my 5. My number 4, 86 Part 2.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah,
Yes, the second one. Well, I love the openings and EDs for 86, but if I had to pick one that I really enjoyed the most, it's 86 Part 2, the ED.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It's really passionate. You feel like the passion this girl throws at the end, when the drums kick in and dun, dun, dun.
And she's like,
Yeah. You feel it, and then once that pan out, and then you see like a scene of that episode, I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
That's what I loved about 80. That's the one thing I love about 86 is openings and EDs. They're always wanting you to get more.
Yeah.
That's why I like that. That's my 4. Number 3, Ranking of Kings. ED. Yes.
Okay.
Because you see how happy Boji is, but at the same time it's so upsetting too, because there's a balance between both things, and I'm like, you're rooting for the guy,
Yeah.
Boji and Kage.
True.
Boji and Kage, and that opening fits it so well. I like that they're both together at the end, on that ending.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's my 3. Number 2, for the Dragon Quest boy.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really chill.
Hold on. The name is. I forgot to write it.
That's okay. I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Yes. The third ED.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's called
Yeah.
Named by the Birds, something like that.
Okay, never mind. I don't gotta put it on.
Yeah. But yeah, I really that ending is really like sad,
Yeah.
because you don't know what to expect, but by the time that moment happens, it really kicks in,
Yeah.
and it's really upsetting. But that's all I could say more. I don't want to
Spoil it.
spoil
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Sunny Boy.
I knew you were gonna pick it.
Yes. This is also same kind of vibe. You
Yeah.
know, you
Mm.
through the entirety of the show, you feel for you feel for the characters, you feel for everything,
Oh yeah.
and especially when the passion this guy puts in the song too. You at first you think it's happy, but once you start reading the subtitles, you're like, oh no. It's upsetting.
Pretty impactful.
Yeah, it's of course, like Omar said, towards the end, that's the end of the song, like the end of the show too, where they bring the acoustic one.
Yeah.
It hits even more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, the singer himself is crying himself.
yeah. So
Don't say goodbye.
don't say goodbye, man. Don't say goodbye. But yeah, that's my number one.
Nice. Very interesting picks we picked for our endings.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, like we listened to all our openings and endings. Leave a comment which one we missed. There was
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of great openings I would love to mention, but hey, it's only top 5 in our list.
Yeah.
So with that, we have to move on with our most anticipated anime for 2022.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's just jump into it with number 5. This was in my last year's anticipated anime for 2021, and I'm still anticipated for it. Chainsaw Man. It better come out this year. I swear to God.
I hope so too. I don't have it in my list because I don't know if it's gonna be coming out this year.
So many trailers, so many anticipation for this show is like it's insane. But they keep releasing trailers for it, and I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited to finally see what Chainsaw has to bring, man.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't come out this year, I'm gonna be real upset. It's still gonna be on my list.
Yeah.
But Chainsaw Man, number 5.
I know.
Ravi?
Yeah. For me, like my number 5 is Love is War season 3. I think that it's safe to say that we're all looking forward to Love is War.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just want what more can be said? If you guys want to know our thoughts on Love is War in general, you guys could check out what we thought of season 2. But I'm just really happy that we're gonna get a season 3. So that's my number 5 is season 3.
Nice.
For me, my fifth one is Goblin Slayer season 2. Kind of looking forward
True,
to.
it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yup. So I'm looking forward to it. I read ahead. Well, I've been reading ahead, but I'm excited to continue the series, even though I've read it.
Yeah. Hey man, you always want to see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now moving on with number 4, because Josh didn't make this list. I have Spy X Family.
Nice.
And I know I didn't think I was gonna pick it either, but
I was like, whoa, shoot.
but the trailer convinced me when I actually saw the trailer, because Raby here, so
I'm looking forward to this one.
he's a big fan of it, and I was like, wow, let me check this out. Let me see what this. Man, I think the little girl got to me, man.
Anya, yeah.
She's just so
Her facial reactions, they sell you.
yeah, it's so adorable, and I can't wait to see like how this spy family, right? Let's just interact with this little girl. So I'm
Peanuts.
yeah, I have no history with the manga, so I'm excited to see it. So yeah, Spy Family for me, number 4.
All right, and then mine is gonna keep this one short. Komi-san season 2. I'm so happy that season 2 is a thing. Because I was kind of worried, with how apparently like Komi is, maybe not so much like is super enjoyed in Japan, but like out here it is super booming. It's like it is like a lot of people out here are like really looking forward to Komi. Like everybody loves it, and
myself.
Omar's a true believer now. So season 2, I'm looking forward to that. So that's my number 4.
Nice.
My number 4 is something new. It's called Love After World Domination.
Okay,
So
that is new.
Okay.
So pretty much it's kind of similar to what Raby likes. I forgot what time is Sentai.
Oh, Super Sentai. Yeah,
Super Sentai. So it's a hero and a villain hooking up at the end. They're trying to.
Oh,
yes,
I saw the trailer for that one. Yeah.
I showed you.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. It's really different than what you usually see in shows in general.
Oh yeah.
So this show, I'm looking forward to it. There's no release date yet. I can't wait whenever it comes out.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my number 4. Omar.
Okay.
All right, number 3, and I know you have this in your list, David, but it's Blue Lock.
Yep, that's on my third, so we
Oh.
gotta talk about her.
Damn, because you know me, man. I love me some soccer. I love watching the World Cup.
Yeah,
And-
out of all the soccer ones, I think this is the one that we're anticipated to
yeah,
watch.
the trailer stuff just
Yeah.
awesome. It's super well done.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, you gotta watch
so,
it, man. It's
Yeah, I
awesome.
gotta watch it.
Like other than Captain Tsubasa being the only good soccer anime, like and like you know that disaster of My Dearest Kramer.
yeah, we don't talk about that one.
I'm really hoping this brings soccer anime to life. And it's just like I'm hoping like for like you know super power soccer or like you know if it's realistic too, man, that's awesome too.
I know. Yeah,
Like,
true.
So that's the beauty about anime; it could go both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But the trailer did get me to wanting to watch this show so
it
badly.
gave me the vibe of Kokoro Basket. If you guys seen that show,
Oh yeah.
it might be that vibe. So I'm hoping it's like that. But yeah, I'm excited. Blue Lock for me and David, number 3.
Yeah.
All right, and then for me, it's Spy X Family. I don't know what else there is to say because I'm not fully caught up on Spy X Family. I'm like intentionally like trying to keep myself like kind of in the dark. Like I'm only like maybe 15 chapters in or so. But yeah, no, like from what I've read so far, and like like the fact that this anime is being a thing, the trailer. I'm looking forward to this anime real good. Like this it's gonna be a fun time when this anime comes out. I can't wait.
Nice. And my number 2 is Mob Psycho season 3.
Well, guess what? Because that's my number 2.
Oh!
I'm looking forward to Mob Psycho season 3.
Man, both seasons were amazing.
I know it's a real shame that like one's other creation, One Punch Man, was not the same.
I know, not the same
with this
fate.
season 2. But hey, you know what? At least Mob Psycho was done clean. It was
Yeah.
done good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I'd never seen an anime where the second season is not only better, like not as good as the first season, but better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Season 2 for Mob Psycho is definitely better.
Yeah, it is amazing. Like our main character is just like awesome, and like the action, the color, the opening. I'm excited for more of the opening.
Yeah, and I gotta say this, like if you're turned off by the art style, please don't give this one a chance. It's made by the
Yes.
same guy that made One Punch Man, so give season 1, 2 a go, and then when season 3 comes on, just hop in.
Yes, exactly. Please watch Mob Psycho. Just be hyped for season 3.
Please.
That's our number 2.
Yeah.
My number 2 is another one that got announced as well too for this year.
Mhm.
It's how do you say it? I can't say the word.
Licorice Recoil.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. People that are doing this project in general.
Mhm.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's the artist, the art director from Sword Art,
Yeah.
and then the writer is Bento, the anime. I don't know if you guys seen that one, the fighting martial art Bento
You
box.
told me about it.
Yeah. Do you know about it, Raby? No?
I don't think I have.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this.
Nice.
This new this announcement teaser.
Yeah, it was recently announced. Wasn't
Yeah,
it? Yes.
it was. I want to see more about it.
Hopefully it comes out this year.
Yeah, no, same.
And number
one.
one, I don't know about y'all. I think we all have it. I could be wrong. It's Jujutsu Kaisen second season.
Oh.
I think I'm the only one. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen second season. I obviously, if you've seen our podcast,
Yeah.
our unanimous 10 out of 10 before Josh. Sorry, Josh. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where the story goes and how amazing the anime is gonna be. You know, we have the movie already, and just the fact that we're getting season 2 pretty soon is like, whoa. My body cannot handle all this awesomeness. I can't wait to return our cast to that world, and I'm hyped. I'm super excited.
Okay, I would have put. I'll be honest. I would have put Jujutsu Kaisen on here, but like there was just too many like anime
Yeah,
to
yeah,
like, look
very
forward
There's a
to.
lot. Yeah.
And honestly, if this anime right here wasn't announced literally like what, 2 days ago? I would have probably put Jujutsu Kaisen in here, probably as my number one. But like, I think it just goes to show, I don't. It doesn't have to be in my list. But basically, my number one pick is the new Urusei Yatsura remake. This came out of nowhere, all right? Like, nowhere did I ever imagine that an anime as old as Urusei Yatsura, this one random anime that I decided, okay, you know what? I'm just going to dedicate 2-3 months of my life just catching up on all 200 episodes of. All of a sudden, yeah, it's getting a new anime this year, and I'm all for it. It's being done by David Productions. We got like the voice of Levi voicing Ataru. We got Nagatoro voicing Lum, the main girl, and it looks great. Like the teaser that they showed off, like it looks great. I'm all on board for this anime. I don't know if it's gonna be super big or whatever. Probably not. I mean, it's an old IP. But I'm looking forward to it though.
Man, you never know. It's a revival of this show, and
very true.
And for the first time, it was a lot of people's OG waifu.
It is, yeah. Lum is indeed like the first OG waifu, and you know, it's like the first character that I can think of that said "darling."
Yeah, exactly. David?
Yeah. So for me, I wish it was Jujutsu Kaisen, but I didn't know the news. But yeah, so my number one is Witch on the Holy Night. It's the
Type Moon.
Yeah, Type Moon.
Oh yeah.
I think the last property, no, the last thing that Type Moon has.
Oh yeah.
This came out around 2012, and we had not received anything from nothing about this project in general. We never got the visual novel here. I wish someone translated it for me, but I never read the visual novel.
Speaking of Type Moon, the Tsukihime anime I think is also coming out this year too.
No, it's gonna be a kind of a spin-off thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to this one because I don't know anything about this one at all.
I was gonna put that on my list too, but I was like, I don't know much, so I'm just like,
hey man, I believe in Type Moon, man.
I mean,
and Ufotable as well. Ufotable as well.
Ufotable's back for Type Moon.
Wait, are they?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay. I guess Heaven's Feel wasn't their last thing. All right, let's go.
Power of money, baby. But yeah, that is our most anticipated for this year, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
What are your guys's? There was a lot of sequels,
so many.
Good originals as well, but
yeah, I threw out originals,
Yeah,
that's good.
But now we move on to our main meat and potatoes.
Yes,
the thing that everybody wants to know.
So we'll do it with like single person.
Okay.
So you say all your
top 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine by me. Yeah. But all right, let's just jump
right to it.
My Omar's top 5 anime of 2021.
Dun-dun.
Starting off with Mushoku Tensei, aka Jobless Reincarnation. I will seriously try this time.
Oh
yes, this anime is amazing. The fact that it's the OG isekai is baffling because of the bad rep it has, but I can see why it's been copied so many times because of this show. Just this season alone, it was amazing with the growth of Rudis, Richard and Eris and their journey, and how each character they interacted was like so different. Like Rudis' dad, Rudis trying to find the mom, the whole beast village. It's insane. The world building in this show is super real.
Yeah,
it is insane, and just like how you don't like Rudis as a character, you're not supposed to. It is like these characters are them, and there's some things that they're not the typical shonen hero. Like, oh, I want to be like that. When I watch this show, I don't want to be like them, but I want to see their journey, and I think that's the most beautiful thing about the show. Is just like this journey is amazing, especially like where we're going now after that downfall in the show. I was like, whoa. I didn't see that coming.
No.
And I think that's the best part. It's like you don't see where the show is going to go. And I can't wait to see more of this of Mushoku Tensei, aka Geometry Incarnation. We'll see if you try this time. Season 2. I'm moving on. My number 4, I have Sonny Boy. And
All right.
there's a reason why I have Sonny Boy. I know in my reviews of Sonny Boy, I was not positive because it was very like a thinking.
Very confusing. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm glad. And there's a reason why I have it here. It's because I enjoyed talking about it in our podcast.
Yeah.
I think it's like there's a reason. Like I'm glad I do a podcast because of shows like this. So where I was lost, Josh and David would put the pieces together where I could enjoy it. And like there are some moments where like I don't get it, but there are some moments where like anyone can understand what they're trying to say. And like the visuals in the show is like insane. Like I remember right off the bat, like the theater scene where like they're messing with the focus and like how the perspective it is, or like the story with the Tower of Babylon. That was like impactful for me. I was like, damn, that was deep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deep messages inside Sonny Boy, which honestly it was the shining light of hope in the summer season. So I really appreciate Sonny Boy being my beacon of light. And the ending. Oh my God. You haven't seen the ending. It's amazing. I think that's why it's on my top 5, because that ending alone, it is perfection, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. And now I move on to my number 3. I have Osama ranking, aka the ranking of kings. It's not done.
No, it is not.
And that's why it's
one
on,
more episode.
Yeah, that's why it's on number 3. You know, but I just immediately grew attached to the characters themselves, like how you know, like Josh said, like you don't know what's gonna who's who, and I think that's the best part about it. Like these characters, like just like Mushoku Tensei, but I feel like Osama ranking does it better. You don't know who's on what side. You don't know their motives are. Yeah, sure, they're a bad guy, but it doesn't mean they're just a bad guy.
That's true. Yeah.
they could do good things as well. Or like just because that person's a good guy, you know, same thing, vice versa. You know, doesn't mean they can't do bad things. And I think it's amazing. I think I love who we're following, like Boji and Kage. Their story, their backstory is like so like sad, and like you just want to hug these characters. You want to hug these characters every time. And like characters you thought that were like evil and like just non-redeemable end up being redeemable, end up being like, damn, like even if you did scummy things, I don't feel that way no more. And I think that kept saying so well of like, you know, real life is like, you know, sure, like just for example, your teacher scold you for like not doing your homework,
right?
Doesn't make him a bad person, you know. It's just you may interpret it that way, but you know, it's still a person at the end of the day. And I think Osama Reiki does that so well, and it's obviously the animation as well. It's like, you know, like I think we said it before, like a Ghibli movie.
Yeah. Ghibli movie, very Ghibli movie. Yes.
And it's like I think that's what pulls my heartstrings, because it's like childhood, like trying to watching this show, and it's just I'm so excited. That's why it's on my number 3. My number 2. This was tough. This was a tough part for my 1 and 2. But I had to put Odd Taxi on number 2. Believe it or
damn.
not. I know. I thought it was obviously on my number 1, like for the longest until the show came in. But Odd Taxi is just an amazing story. You know, I love our MC, because our MC wouldn't be an MC in any other show. He would have been the side character for one episode, one little throwaway, and that was it. But the fact that he's the main character, how everything ties around him, they all interact with him, and how the story is told, and like the twist and twists and turns that happen in the story is mind-boggling. Like I love this anime.
Oh yeah.
The music, you know, what these characters. There's even a part where like there's a rapping porcupine. That's awesome. You never see that.
Yeah.
Where he's talking, he's rapping. That's awesome. That is so cool. And that's my number 2. And now I know you guys wondering, what is my number 1?
What could your number 1 possibly be?
I was shocked and I was baffled as well when I picked it, but it is Arcane.
Arcane,
League of Legends story. This, like, we saw the trailer for it, and it looked really good. And I was like, okay, that's why it was not my unanticipated list, because I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. But I completely forgot about it until like Netflix, dropped it in November, and
Right.
that was the rise of the minis, because me and David wanted to talk about it. Yeah, the Arcane, like the characters are awesome. I know all the champions. You got Vi, you got Catherine, you got Jinx, Hummerdinger, Jace, Victor, and I'm bad with names.
Right. I know. I'm like, holy.
Echo. These characters, that they all have their own personalities, and like the world they build is awesome. That you got the high class people, and you got the slums and stuff like that, and like the origins of these characters are awesome, and like just like the consequences of what happens in the show. It's like, man, what are we gonna do? And like, these characters are like so relatable. Like I said earlier with Victor, like I really like latched on to Victor, because he's like, I feel like he will be the fallen hero, but like it doesn't seem that way, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait. And then you got a little Hummerdinger who's like super adorable.
Yeah.
He's awesome. And oh man, the song, it's amazing. I didn't put it, but like, I listen to that thing all the time. I'm just gushing about this show.
I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you.
And I can't wait for season 2. I don't know if it's coming out this year. I wasn't sure, otherwise it would have been on the list.
Right.
But yeah, man, I can't wait for more Arcane. It blew my expectation like so much, because video game adaptations have never been too kind.
Yeah.
And then being a Netflix show, it was asking for it to be bad.
True.
So that's why Arcane #1 for 2001. No, 2021.
Whoa.
I'm baffled by
Go
words.
back in time.
I am baffled by words. And I don't even like League. That's how good this show is.
Oh my goodness. All right, so I guess moving on to me. So number 5 that I have for my top anime of all time is actually ReZero Season 2 Part 2.
Ah, nice.
It's kind of a weird choice of words there, but I really do feel like Season 2 as a whole was such a big improvement. I mean, I know at first, there were a lot of tribulations with how that was handled, especially with part 1 and going into Part 2. But yeah, no, it was such a great, fantastic way of kicking off that winter season with Part 2, and like everything just kind of like tying together. And then because Subaru like was just getting kicked around like nothing throughout like everything. Like it was just insane. So so season 2 Part 2 for ReZero is my number 5. And my number 4 I have is actually VV Fluorite Eye Song.
Oh, I wanted to put this.
It was. Oh my goodness, what an adventure that anime was. Because speaking of ReZero, this was also done by the same writer as ReZero, but again, due to our experience with Sigururi, that one was we were all like kind of
yeah.
But he blew it out of the park with Vivi, and it was just amazing. It was an amazing adventure. You didn't know where everything was gonna lead. There was definitely like some highs and lows throughout it all, but it was just all around. It was just a fantastic experience. Would not recommend it enough. I feel like this one kind of was kind of under the radar for a lot of people.
Yeah, like a lot of people kind of missed it. Same thing like with Taxi. Like there was like not a lot of buzz about it.
Oh yeah,
but people that have watched it, amazing show.
Yeah, so highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, go check out VV Floor Eye Song. Number 3, and I love the fact that Part 1 and Part 2 came out all in 2021, is Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah.
Mushoku Tensei as a whole, it was, again, what more can we say about Mushoku Tensei? Like, it is pretty much the father of, like, reincarnated anime. And, like, other than, like, unlike its other, like, copycat, like, series or whatever, Mushoku Tensei keeps it real. Like, it doesn't in no way does it tell you like, oh, this is going to be like a power fantasy type anime, because it really isn't. No. It's you don't want to be like Rudius. So you don't want to be in a situation where he's just like traumatized by his past failures and everything. Like, you're there to see him and just kind of like grow from what he's going to become, not what he already is. Like that's the journey. And it does it so well. Yeah, exactly.
The recovery.
Yeah, and it does it so well. Both Part 1 and then Part 2 just continues it on with more, and it's just such an amazing journey. Can't wait for when that season 2 comes out. So That's my number 3.
Nice.
Number 2 is of course Sunny Boy.
All right.
So it sucks that so summer, even though I wasn't around for the summer season, I felt like I didn't miss much. I didn't miss out on much. However, this anime right here, Sunny Boy, I regret missing out on that season because it was an experience. It was such an amazing show with all the characters and everything that's going on within the series itself was just fantastic, beautiful. It was just beautiful all around. I honestly can't say much more about it. I feel like we've all said everything that we need to say about Sunny Boy. So again, if you guys haven't checked it out, please check out Sunny Boy and check out our reviews for Sunny Boy, especially Josh's. He does an amazing job of talking about it.
Yeah, I feel like all the animes we talked about, Sony Boy is the one like everyone missed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sunny Boy went under everyone's radar.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And it was just a fantastic watch. I would definitely recommend watching it again, and if possible, watch it in English as well, because the English dub is out now, and there is a lot of like different details and stuff. So sometimes if you don't want to read through kind of what's going on, you can just kind of like listen in on what's going on, and maybe that might give you a better perspective. I personally want to do a rewatch of it in English, so that's me.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my number 2, and then my number 1 is I know you. That was originally, I thought it was gonna be both our number ones.
I know.
It was Odd Taxi. So originally I started out Odd Taxi because Omar recommended it to me, and sadly I only saw up to episode 6 up until about 3 days ago when I decided, you know what, top 5s are coming in. I remember loving Odd Taxi up until episode 6 that I saw. So I'm gonna do the show, the honors justice, and I'm going to actually like finish it off. And I'm really, really, really glad I did.
I'm glad you did too.
Because Odd Taxi is just phenomenal. It is such an amazing story. I've already talked about it with the Otakawa part and like how he's like the perfect main character for this type of story. But yeah, no, the anime itself is just so unique, and I get it, if it's like the animals are a big turnoff for you, but trust me, it actually serves a purpose.
Yeah.
As to why everyone's an animal, and like in a choice that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, I would. Again, another anime that just got swept under the rug.
Yeah,
it just sucks.
I like how your list had like a lot of animes that a lot of people did miss.
Yeah, I didn't plan on that, but but yeah, no, fantastic, and that was my top 5.
David.
So I have 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
Arcana and Invincible.
What the?
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. So those are my honorable mentions. Number 5, Horimiya. Horimiya was really. I didn't expect it from the show a lot too, because mostly a lot of school romance ones always focus with the MC going out with many of the girls, but he always had that one girl he liked.
That's true.
And that's what I loved about this show. I love the chemistry with all the characters, all the conversations with our boy,
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that about this show in general. I wish we had more than a little bit of episodes. I wanted more. Hopefully they give us like maybe like adults.
David, you know what's crazy is that I actually originally had Horimiya written down, but then I remembered ReZero was the thing. So that would have been my number 5 pick for sure. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I can't wait if there is more.
Yeah. But number 4, 86, part 1.
Oh, you
yes.
Can,
yes. Yes.
I mean, he could do that. Yeah.
All right.
Hey man, I love the whole the whole chemistry with the 86ers and the major herself, the conflict between, oh look, you're this side versus that side,
right.
These people are not human, we live in this society of like a group that doesn't matter, stuff like that. And I love the seriousness of this show so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanting more, just like how the openings and the endings are. That's how hook, like, this is a show I wanted from the beginning, but we didn't get to watch it as a group. And I felt like we should have watched it as a group, but it's fine. I really enjoyed watching every single episode. I benched it like crazy. But yeah, so number 3, To Your Eternity. Ooh, this show really got to me. Like, even towards the end too. The whole old lady and Fuji,
yeah.
it really got to me even more, because there's a lot of the funny thing with this show is there's a lot of relatable stuff that you get from Fuji, and it
like it explores death.
Yes.
Like, everyone can relate to that.
Yes, and with not only the grandma lady, but the rest of the other characters.
Yeah.
You know, you feel for all of them, and there's hatred to characters, but that's the reason why. You know, you see their reason, but you still hate them for that reason. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
And I just love the buildups within each and every like arc. You know, we get to explore through Fuji's eyes. So yeah, that's my third. You know what I'm bringing out, man? Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh my god!
I knew you were gonna bring that guy up.
Because I'm gonna say, man, that second part was amazing.
It was.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are definitely not wrong.
Hey, man, we couldn't talk about it last time,
That
so
is true.
now
That's
I could
true.
bring it up because I love like the last arc where it was just based on our MC and Junpei, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember his name.
Damn, that's hardcore.
Yeah, that was hardcore.
For David to remember a name.
I know.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
But this one was really entertaining, and seeing our MC build up over time. Like, he's practicing, and I like that. I enjoy his that we get to explore him and also his team and the rest of the second years and the of course, yes. Gojo, yes.
Yes, of course. Our Gojo.
Yes.
But yes, we get to see the team fights. We get to see the
Combos.
the combos, the amazing art style. I gushed about this show last year. I'm gonna gush.
Hey,
gush here.
Two-time, baby.
I still remember it since that beginning of the year too.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Especially like
that was also in his anticipated too. So he was looking forward to it.
yeah. I wish I would have put it in my 5, but I want to give shiny others.
But yes, that's number 2, and of course my number 1, Osama ranking. Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I feel like I'm the one that gushes over this show the most. But yeah, I really love this show. I love the Boji's such a caring little boy, you know?
Man. It's just a beacon of hope,
sweet
man.
boy.
Beacon of hope, like you guys said. We gushed about it within
This
the
episode.
Other, yeah. And I can't wait till this new arc happens, you know?
Yeah, me too, man.
Because
It looks promising.
for I guess I feel like these 10 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 10 episodes that we watched. We got to learn about all the characters. You get me?
Mhm.
We got every single we got story from every single character, and
Including the snake.
Yeah.
Snake.
It's true.
Yes. And I can't wait for more. We'll see what happens with the next episode, of course.
No,
But
most definitely.
this is my number 1 for that for 2021.
21.
2021.
So Josh, you're 5.
Okay, my number 5 is Duke of Death as Maid. It's a great
Sick.
anime.
Nice.
It's just again, I already said things for the characters and the unexpected anime and everything like that. It's a really fun, heartwarming experience, and I really love the characters. I love all the interactions with them. I love how they are just really you know, it's cute. It's just a cute anime, and that's why I love it.
yeah.
And I wasn't expecting to love it as much because it's CGI, but in the end I did, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I gave it a good score. Unexpected, but a welcome treat of the year for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
My fourth is Osama ranking. It's not done yet, but it's just been so solid so far, and it's been very unique in its presentation of a story. Like there's something under the surface, and you gotta think about it and stuff. And I hope it's gonna be revealed. But so far, the first core of it has been phenomenal, and you learn to if you don't like the characters, you respect them after a while. You understand what they're trying to do, and you kind of feel for them. It's like the opposite of what they did for a character like Metropoliman, who just doesn't have any of that spice to be able to relate to or even understand in the slightest. But with all these characters, even the villains, you understand them, and you are constantly throwing red herrings and curveballs everywhere. Like you think you gotta figure out one episode, and then the next episode just turns on its head, and it's like, oh, sorry, he's a good guy now, or she's a good guy. So I think it's one of those anime that's just like, it always keeps you on your toes, but you're so invested in it that you can't turn away. You gotta just keep looking, just what's gonna happen next. What, you know?
Yeah, it hooks you, man.
And, yeah, it hooks you right in. My number 3 is Mushoku Tensei. Great, phenomenal. What is there to say about it more? It's a great story. It's a great second core. I'm looking forward to season 2. I love the character dynamics between everyone. I love the growth of all the characters. I'm always impressed by how Mushoku Tensei can fit so much into 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. A lot of anime waste their episodes on like filler content, like Sakugan, for example. But this show never wastes a beat. Every minute is important. Every second is important to making a great story that's really enjoyable, and all the characters are really enjoyable. All the moments are really nice, and I can't wait for season 2 coming out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Same here.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Dynazenon. This was one of my favorites of the whole year. I love the way it's paced. I love the characterization. It's a little confusing. It's told in a way that's like kind of strange, and kind of, if you're not really paying attention, you won't get it.
Right.
It's really a character driven story. If you're looking for a story to make sense, that's not it, Chief. Like, you're not gonna find it here. The story doesn't really make much sense, but it's the kaiju and the villains are all used to propel the characters. Like, my firm belief that the kaiju are there to further character development with our main characters. And that they don't really matter in the story that much, other than like a cool fight scene at the end of every episode. But to further that development. So I love that. I love character developed shows. I love stories that have more lying under the surface than just shown above. And I think it's a great show. One of my favorites of the year. But the absolute best anime of 2021, and my favorite, the only show I gave a 10
out of
this
10.
year,
Yep.
Sunny Boy.
I knew it.
Sunny Boy was phenomenal. It was the lone bright shining point in that summer season. Most of the other shows were, other than Duke of Death, obviously, but most of the other shows were like mid to low tier, and then you had Sunny Boy, who was just like, every episode I was dialed in. I had to focus. I had to have no distractions and just focus on it and absorb everything that the anime was telling me, and just process it in my mind and then talk about it on the show. That's the way it was for me. It's one of those psychological anime that you gotta think about. You definitely can't go in like just being like putting it on in the background then walking away, because you're not gonna get the full. Yeah, so when you watch that show, it's like you gotta think about it, and I love thinking shows. I love shows that make me want to really just watch more of it and really further all these characters. Like, it ended off on the perfect note but I could watch these characters again. I could see more development.
No, yeah.
It's a phenomenal show.
And if you want to hear Josh's full review, because it's really well done, how he described that show, I highly recommend going back, checking that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Really well done.
So
And with that, leave a comment if what we missed, what animes we missed, if we were right or wrong, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
But that wraps up this special, our yearly review of the year. And hopefully 2022 for anime is as good or even better than 2021, because there's a lot of promise, a lot of sequels. Even Bleach is coming back.
That's true. I mean, like that came out of the that literally came out of the dead right there with that announcement.
So 2022 is action packed, and we can't wait to talk about it more in our podcast, and hopefully you guys are there. But with that being said, I've been your host, Omar.
And I'm your co-host, Raby.
and this is David.
And this is Josh.
And then that's the end of the episode. So we'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Next week.